Come and talk to me, come and talk to me. I really wanna meet you, come and tell me. Tell me where your mind goes. Yeah. Can I talk to you? I really wanna know you. Come and talk to me, come and talk to me. I really wanna know you.
I really wanna meet you.
Can I talk to you? I really wanna know you. I really wanna be yours. Come and talk to me, come and talk to me. I really wanna meet you. Come and talk to me. I can feel your energy. Can I talk to you? I really wanna know you. Come and talk to me, come and talk to me. I really wanna know you. Your heart. Come and talk to me. I really wanna know you. Come and talk to me, come and talk to me.
I really wanna meet you. Come and talk to me. Tell me what you've been through, yeah. Can I talk to you?
I really wanna know you.
Come and talk to me. Come and talk to you. Come and talk to me. You can put your trust in me.
I really wanna meet you.
Can I talk to you? I really wanna know you. I really wanna hear you speak. Speak to me.
Come and talk to me, come and talk to me.
I really wanna meet you.
Come and talk to me. I can feel your energy.
So sweet.
Can I talk to you?
I really wanna know you.
Come and talk to me, come and talk to me. I really wanna know you. Your heart, your peace.
Come and tell you.
I really wanna be
your
Come and talk to me.
Come and talk to me.
I really wanna meet you. Come and talk to me.
Tell me where your mind goes.
Yeah. Can I talk to you?
I really wanna know you.
Come and talk to me. Come and talk to me.
You ain't gotta hide from me, no.
I really wanna meet you.
Can I talk to you?
Come and talk to me.
I really wanna know you.
I really wanna be your.
Come and talk to me.
Come and talk to me.
I really wanna meet you.
Come and talk to me.
I can feel your energy
So deep.
Can I talk to you?
I really wanna know you.
Come and talk to me.
Come and talk to me. I really wanna know your heart.
Your heart. Come and talk to me.
Come and talk to me.
I really wanna meet you.
Come and talk to me. Tell me what you've been through,
Yeah. Can I talk to you? I really wanna know you.
Come and talk to me.
Come and talk to me.
You can put your trust in me.
In me.
I really wanna meet you.
Can I talk to you? I really wanna know you.
Come and talk to me.
Come and talk to me.
You can put your trust in me.
In me.
I really wanna meet you.
Can I talk to you? Come and talk.
What's up, y'all?
What's going on? What's going on, chat? I got a nice show for y'all today. I think y'all gonna like it. I think we're gonna enjoy it today. Um, we have a special guest on, and this is somebody that I found their content really interesting. I think it's one of them women who actually I think understand men a lot. So I find those conversations to be interesting. All her posts and her reels, I studied them a little bit, and I think she understands men a lot. So I think it'll make for a good conversation. So I'm about to introduce to you our guest for the day, Snow. Hey, what's going on,
Hi,
Snow?
everybody.
So
Hi,
the
thank you so much for having me.
absolutely, absolutely. Um, how's the day been? How's the week been? Honestly,
The week I would say has been really good. I got a lot of stuff out the way. Listen, I took a couple of days and got some rest.
okay.
I had, I look, I've been going in go mode so much. Don't, bu-
Mhm.
don't criticize it too much. I've been going in go mode so much. I forgot my anniversary.
Oh man, oh that's crazy.
The 1 year I forgot. But what's so crazy was the day that I hit the goal that I had been trying to meet. Was my anniversary, same day, same time.
Nice. That's good.
So it was still ended up
Congratulations.
celebrating it and didn't even realize it because we
Yeah.
still made each other feel special on that day. And it was like
Okay.
it all fell into place.
Well,
So
congratulations.
thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I want the audience to get a little bit more familiar with you. Can you
Okay.
tell me what is what's your thing? What's your purpose on social media right now? Why are you doing what you're doing? Having the conversations that you're having.
Of course. So I have two different platforms. They both kind of do the same thing, but a little different. So I have my platform for my women, taking accountability, stop blaming, playing smarter. That playing smarter means better choices, not necessarily trying to play the game as a man would, but also making sure that women are taking accountability in the space of healing and growing. Because after a while, I feel like our choices are our own. No one can contribute to those choices you make outside of you. No one can be the blame for the choices you make. So that's why I'm here. But I also want to display and identify the unhealthy characteristics of an unhealthy relationship. I want women to know what that looks like because a lot of times they're in it, but they don't know that that's what they're in. And then I have the Cold Truth Pod, as you can see behind me, that stems from just creating a place where men and women can come together to have healthy debates about the hard truths about relationships and dating. Because I feel like that's a topic we're never going to agree on, but I
Yeah.
want people to attack the argument and not the person. So that's why I developed both of those channels, and that's my mission is to change the numbers so they can reflect something different within the years to come. But that starts with taking accountability on both sides.
Okay. I like that. That's thorough. I, I'm a little different as far as like I just be talking. You know. Um.
Ain't nothing wrong with a little talk.
Yeah. I just talking, but the reason that I like one of the reasons that I like to talk is because I do think I have solutions. I do think my
Mhm.
perspective, can help enlighten people in my mind. I could be completely wrong. I could be doing everything wrong. But I think so. So that's part of what I want for like my future. But yeah, I just kind of started off by just posting shit. Um but yeah, I think we got similar missions though, you know.
Yeah, I like that you're solution focused. That's what made me jump into what I'm doing now as well, because I was already a solution focused therapist as well. So for me, I wanted to cross over into a space to where I can have more of a down home conversation, because a lot of people receive those conversations more right than something psychological. So for me to hear that you're solution focused, that's the goal. sometimes those conversations spark solutions to the problems. And that's why my platform exists. It's the conversations people have been avoiding. And
Mm,
so as I'm watching your content, you're hitting on some of the same things that I'm talking about as well. You're not avoiding the conversations, you're calling out, you're asking for the accountability, whether it's the men or the women. And I love that you have an unbiased opinion. So even though you feel like you just chatting, you
yeah.
chatting up to some solutions to some problems. Some
You
stuff people need to hear.
That's interesting. So you think I have an unbiased opinion? You know, a lot of men think I have a biased opinion.
But they're gonna think that about us. Think about it from my perspective as well. I have a lot of men saying that I don't hold women accountable.
Mm,
So they're always gonna attack the messenger to deflect from the message.
yeah.
So when I listen to your content, and I think people should give us more than 10 seconds of their time to really get the gist of what we're saying. I don't
Mm,
think that that
you,
you don't hold
you
the
know,
women or the men accountable in the ways that they
yeah.
need to be held.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm really balanced. I'm in the middle with it. But a lot of times, and this is just my opinion, I think a lot of the men are so focused on holding the women accountable that when I kind of pull it back towards the middle, they think I'm being biased. And it's probably the same on a women's side for you. You know,
It
I'm just trying to
is.
pull it back towards the middle.
Comments be dry. It'd be like crickets. It'd be, listen, I can call a man out on something that he's doing that's utterly wrong. And the comments are filled with men and their opinions, right? And the women are there too. But if I call a woman out on something that she is doing, the comments are dry. And I tell my ladies all the time, I need to see y'all more in the comments. I need to see y'all taking accountability more. I need to see y'all focusing on these areas of improvement because for me, I feel like everything is a cause and effect, right? Um, the way that you act towards somebody else determines the way that they treat you. And so with women, I developed my platform so that we can come into this space of accountability so that men can stop saying what they're saying. And
Yeah.
then I have my accountability parts for the men so that the women can stop saying what they're saying. So it's a big cause and effect. I
Yeah.
think the world isn't ready for the change that we are trying to create. But
Hmm.
I think with people like us that have an unbiased opinion and that are in the middle and can see both sides, again, I feel like we attack the argument. The change
Yeah.
will come. We just gotta be patient. And I'm willing to be the villain in in the story for as long as I need to be for my
Yeah.
ladies to understand where we gotta go from here.
Yeah. Um, I think men and women are hurt and they just afraid to say it for whatever reason. You know, they just lashing out at each other. They lashing out at each other, and they
Yeah.
just hurt, and then nobody's want to say like, "Yo, you hurt me. You hurt my feelings," and
Mhm.
I'm hurt. Like the guys and the women. So
I feel like that about the men, not necessarily the women. I feel like the women display their hurt and they vocalize it, but I don't feel like they're being heard because the men have been hurt, if that makes sense.
hmm,
Because I feel like women say, even if, because we got to look at it from different ways of communication, forms of communication, right? We have anger as one of those forms. Women are expressing how they're feeling, but it is in a form of anger sometimes.
yeah,
So I don't feel like we really are close because I feel like for me, I've heard more women say there are no good men in the world. That's expressing how hurt they have been by men.
yeah,
We just don't like to hear them say it that way, and I feel like it makes everyone else become closed off to hearing her point of view after that. Man, I don't know about y'all. You gotta let me listen. I study the men,
mm,
I've done it from a professional seat. I've done it from experience. We just talked about this education, experience, and expertise. The three
mhm,
E's for me. So
yeah,
I do feel like the men are hurting, but I don't
yeah,
feel like they express it because they're not given the room to express it. Women, we're looked at as emotional. It ain't too long you can go without a woman blurting out her feelings after a while.
Yeah,
She gonna get it off her chest.
yeah. I'll tell you why I think it's the same.
Hmm.
Um, I think neither side is saying it, but I think both sides are expressing it in different
Okay.
ways, different mechanisms, right? I think
Hmm.
women are expressing it when you say stuff when they say stuff like, men ain't this, ain't no good men out here, or
Hmm.
they might talk about, how all men are the problem, things like that, right? And I think
Hmm.
men are expressing it in the same way by saying like, oh, I'll hear stuff like all women cheat, or they'll come in my comments and say she going to use you for your money, or she going to cheat, all these type of nonsense, right? And all
Hmm.
the men are pretty much, they think all women are gold diggers. Well, not
Hmm.
all of them, but they think they gold diggers. They want us for our money because they want a man that you know is not wealthy, but they want a man that has security and stuff like that, right? I
Right.
think they're both expressing it, but nobody's saying it. Nobody's saying I'm hurt. My feelings are hurt.
Right. Okay.
When you say that you're looking for a man that makes this type of money or this height, I feel like I'm left out, and that doesn't feel good. I feel like I can't, you women, that I can't find a woman that's good for me because I feel like I'm out of you or excluding me from your dating pool, and that hurts, right? And the women aren't doing the same thing on the vice versa. Um,
Mm.
so that's what I think it is. What do you think about that?
I like how you just made it a full circle moment, because going back to what you just said about if a woman wants a man that makes a certain amount, right? I think if we look at it from her perspective, she is coming from probably a place of hurt or trauma or rebuilding, to where she's probably been through something that made her realize she needed to date a man that made a certain amount. So going back to what you said about they're saying it but they're not expressing it, I feel I can see that. I like how you brought that into perspective for me. I could definitely see that. Um, but also too, I feel like everybody is scared to get hurt.
Mhm.
And when what that translates over to me is nothing is really authentic anymore without there being a cause and effect behind it. It's like we're strategic with the way that we deal with each other, but the fact that nobody wants to get hurt is like, what did Denzel Washington say? I'm leaving with something. You remember
Yeah.
he said that he was like, I'm leaving with something. Um, and I feel like that's the way we're expressing our hurt without saying it, if that makes sense. It's like we're entering into these spaces, feeling the way that we're feeling, especially like going back to the men and the gold digger mentality, and them being under your comment saying that to me is wild, because I feel like as a man, wouldn't you want to have a woman or have a partner that lets you thrive in your manhood, that lets you just be in that space?
Yeah, I think you know what I think a big problem is. A lot of people go through things and they don't know what they're looking at. They don't know what they're seeing. They don't know how to translate what just happened to me. So when a man goes through something with a woman, he doesn't know how to look at that and be like, all right, well, what side of her am I seeing? And vice versa. Which is why people go to therapy. Therapy kind of helps you work through things. It don't solve problems, but helps you work through things, get up to a place where you feel better, you understand them, and maybe even give you tools to help work with them. So I really think that's what it is. Like, men don't know what they look, because women are supposed to want some sort of security, right? They're supposed to feel that way. I think they're supposed to feel that way,
Yeah.
and men are supposed to feel certain ways also. But I'll tell you one of the things that men go through that is, I think is very prevalent when men are in relationships. It may be they may start, the woman may start giving them less sex or something like that, right?
Okay.
And this is something that a man is going through, and he doesn't know how to express himself. Maybe he just feels like moving forward after that relationship, this is how women are. Maybe he went through that, two times, but he doesn't understand. Um, he doesn't know how to analyze it to the degree of, why am I getting less sex? Let me communicate that. Let me ask. Let me see what she's saying. what made you feel differently, you know,
Mhm.
these type of things. And she'll tell you probably, maybe I feel overworked, or maybe you started doing this, you haven't been taking the trash out, and it just I started to look at you differently or whatever, right? From small things. So I think that's one of the issues. And what you think?
I think so too, but I'm gonna say this as well. I feel like there are two types of partners that you can have. You can have an ego-driven, centered partner, or you can have a partner that is very emotionally intelligent. So I feel like for those men who are in that space to not have the understanding to ask what's going on, I feel like that's an ego-driven issue that they may have. And that's why I always tell women, like, you have to, for me, I feel like this, and tell me your thoughts. I believe heavily in gender roles, right? I believe in everybody doing their part. I believe in a woman being a woman, a man being a man. Masculine energy versus femininity. I believe in that. But also, I feel like that ego, a man's ego should be stroked in order for him to thrive. But I don't feel like it should come at the cost of the woman and her emotional security, if that makes sense. So, like, I'm not, when I say the egocistic behavior, I'm not saying that it's bad to have an ego as a man, but I feel like in certain situations, how are you going to let your ego drive you? Because if you know that you were in this relationship, y'all went from having sex all the time to not having sex, what part of you actually wants to sit down and have a conversation? And I feel like it goes back to the ego and rejection. A lot of men can't take how that woman may not stroke his ego during that time of rejection because he's being rejected sex, which, from my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of men sit on my platform and say that's the biggest need for them, their biggest want. So I feel like it comes to an ego and a rejection thing, maybe just the communication and not knowing how to express that.
Yeah. I think a big part of it is it's not easy, right? Which
Hmm.
is why a lot of women choose not to do it, right? A
Right.
lot of women choose not to take lead when it comes to certain things. And I think it's being a leader. It's taking control and being like, let's sit down and let's figure this out.
Right.
What's going on? And I think leading is a skill that we assume that men have. And a lot of us don't have that skill. You know, it takes patience, it takes um, a level of stoicism, it takes a level of intelligence, right? Being able to solve problems and knowing how you solve problems, right? And these things just aren't, we're not born with them.
Mhm.
It's a lot of people who don't have these skills, and I think that's a big portion of the issue. Ego to a degree, also, right? Ego
Right.
definitely can come into part. Ego can come into play also with women a lot, when it comes to
For sure.
relationships and stuff too. Um, so yeah, I think a lot of men don't have the skills.
I can agree with that. I can definitely agree with that, and that's why I always say a woman cannot raise a man. The man needs to be present in some way, shape, or form. Um, Definitely don't come in between that. But I also think I can't disagree with you because I was just having this conversation the other day. I told somebody, I was like, I do think that when it comes to dating, a lot of men have it harder than women because you are the societal pressure on you for finances, for leadership, for you to know all of these things and to dive right into it. For example, you can, even when we're young, right? I think we give each other more leeway when we're in our 20s. But
Mhm.
even in your 20s, when you get a woman, it's like, okay, now I got to get her this. I got to make sure we do this. I got to make sure we do. And she's probably just la 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 la, just being a girl, just like, mama, I got a man. We about to see where it goes. But society pressures y'all to show up like a man instantly, right? And we as women, we're asked to show up as women instantly, especially after we have a child. So I feel like that definitely plays a part in it because we expect y'all to know. And a
Yeah.
lot of time we don't give y'all grace. But this is where it's a fine line for me, right? In our 20s, I can give you all the grace that you need because I'm learning too, right? I think the issue for today's dating in our generation is we're in our 30s.
Yeah.
Um, time is a ticking.
Mhm.
At
Yeah.
this point, you should know what leadership looks like. You should have the qualities, you should have the characteristics. So I think we bump heads in our dating scene because women are coming out saying, hey, you got to come with this, right? I need you coming to the forefront with this. There's no if and buts about it. And then a lot of men feel like, wait a minute, I'm learning. So I feel like different strokes, different folks. There are different areas you can allow somebody to grow in.
Yeah.
Um,
Can I
because
can I can I interject real quick?
yeah,
I think none of us have a real model of leadership. Like
okay,
the way that it needs to work today, right? None of us have a
right.
real model. Think about it, right? We black, right? So growing up, a lot of, I don't know about you, but most people probably can attest to this. A lot of
Mhm.
times you hear stuff like do as I say, not as I do,
I've heard that.
right?
Yeah.
And ultimately that's like the opposite of what leadership is, but
Hmm.
it's ingrained in us. And I think a lot of men try to lead that way. They try to lead their women that way. You know, I have a lot of conversations and the men are like, it don't matter how I say it. I said it. I don't have to change my tone. If she don't get it, then that's her problem. Like, and I'm like, yo, that's not how that works, right? Do as I say. Like, no, don't just do as you say. You have to speak to her, meet her where she is, right? If she needs you to say something in a softer tone, she needs you to say something in a harder tone, a harsher tone, or whatever like that. I think as a leader, it's your job to know that. Like, you got to be a coach. You got to be like, you're the leader, right? And I don't think we all had a good example of that growing up. Like my parents used to say stuff like, be a leader, not a follower. And like,
Mine too.
but it's like, yo, do you know do you know what you're telling me? Like, you know what that means? You telling me to just go out here and do shit. That's what you telling me to do. Like I don't know how to lead. All I do is know how to like not follow you and do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, that's kind of like my current position on that. What you think?
But do you think, okay, do you think that emotional intelligence plays into that? Because for a lot of men as kids, y'all were asked to shut the emotions off. I used to see coming up little cousins cry. Now you punched in the chest, or you're told to be quiet, suck it up, but the girls can express those emotions. Do you feel like that translates over into how they know or how they learn how to deal with the women as they get older? Because like you said, it's a way that you say it to her so that she can receive it.
Yeah, I do think that it plays a part. But I think honestly, I think a real big part of emotional intelligence comes down to intelligence, right?
Hmm.
It comes down to like, okay, this didn't work when I tried it. Let me go in my problem solving bag and see how I can get
Right.
cooperation or how I can get this. You know, I think a big part just comes to intelligence, and a lot of men, it's a mix between some men not having the intelligence and the other ones having the ego of I'm smart enough, but I shouldn't have to do this. I shouldn't have to, give this much grace or something like that. And the other side is, they just not smart enough to figure out that like this shit don't work.
Right. I
Yeah.
can agree with that. Do you feel like with going into the ego and all of that stuff, I feel like it translates over into what we're building as women and the hardship we're having in this area. Do you feel like the standards that women have set for themselves in standard dating now, do you feel like they're asking for too much? And how do you feel about the men who give them the backlash?
Well, we got to think about it, right? Um, I want to ask you, what do you think the main standards are that women are like? If you could give me the basic generic what women's standards are, if you could give me the
Mhm.
majority of what most women align on, what do you think
Okay.
those standards are?
Okay. So I feel like every woman is different, but if I had to name a few, respect,
Okay.
um, not being in a relationship where there's infidelity, commitment, um, I would say leadership. minus the ego,
Hmm.
because that goes into the disrespect and all of those things, I would say are the top basic borderline standards that women are enforcing.
Okay, I think I think those aren't too much to ask for, right? But this here's an interesting thing, right? Um, I think being a leader is a lot to ask because it's
Mm,
not easy, right? And
okay.
especially if I don't make more money than you. If I don't make more money than you, and I got to be a leader, that's an equation that a lot of men can't solve. Like, how can
Mm,
I be confident enough, even though I don't make money, to lead you? How can I talk to you and get you to understand how this money shit don't matter, right? And how can my energy also match that, right? I think a lot of times men don't know how to solve that equation. This girl make more money than me, and that's gonna put a little bit of dip on your chip, right? Versus if I made more money than you, a lot of women, if you make more money than them, they just to a degree they gonna taper that shit back because it's like
yeah.
this is like they gotta taper that
I
shit,
can't agree. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's a part of the issue.
Okay. So let me ask you this. How can I phrase this question? And a lot of men may not like what I'm going to say, and you can correct the lingo if I get it wrong.
Yeah.
um in that space, you are able to thrive in that space of a man who makes less than your woman, but this is how: you have to be willing to submit yourself in your ego department, not in leadership, right? But in your ego department, how can you know how to talk to this woman about the finances, about the cutbacks, about all of these things you want to add or subtract without feeling like you're not talking to your partner? See, women, the way that we do it is if he makes more than us, right? I agree. It's certain things we don't taper back for sure. But for the most part, we know how to submit on the level that we need to submit on without feeling like we're being controlled. And I feel like a man, if he has to submit in certain ways, that they feel like they're being controlled. And I think that's the issue.
Let me ask you a question. Let's say a woman makes more money than you. What ways do you have to submit now that you wouldn't if you made more money than her?
So I would, going back to the ego submission, it would be the way that you have conversations, the way that you communicate, because your ego can block all of that. You can feel a certain way about something that's going on with the finances and you never bring it up. You harbor that anger and resentment because you couldn't solve the problem, versus sitting down with your partner and saying, this is a problem, how do we solve it?
So let me say this thing. So you say I have a man will have to communicate different if he makes less
Mhm.
money than if he made more money.
Not necessarily. No, no, I don't want to
Okay.
get it misconstrued. Screwed.
Hmm.
Not that he has to communicate differently. He has to be willing. He has to be willing to be submissive in certain areas that he may not have to if he made more. Like,
Hmm.
for example, a lot of men, not all, but some, when they take that leadership position, is like you said, do as I say, not as I do. What I say goes. That, for some men, gives them that sense of entitlement, makes them feel like the king of their castle. I'm not
Hmm.
saying anything is wrong with how you run your ship, right? But when you are actually in a partnership and you are not the person that is the end all be all of everything, you have to scale back wanting to control the situation and insert your partner into helping you make those decisions. Not saying she's going to
Gotcha.
take that control, that leadership away from you, but you got to include her on more conversations. And I think that's hard for some men to do, as well as it may be hard for some women to accept.
Mm. Yeah, I think if you, it's easy to if somebody give you the keys to something, right? It's easy to control it, right? So if
Mm,
somebody, if our parents left and they said, "Yo, you in charge," it's easy for me to tell you what to do because parents just put me in charge. It's like having money,
mhm,
right? But getting somebody to follow you where you don't have leverage on over them, that's the difficult part. That's real leadership. People
mhm.
choosing to follow you. It's
Yes.
easy when you make money. It's like, yeah, shorty, I make all the fucking money. What you gonna do,
Yeah.
right? Where you gonna go
Yeah.
without me, right? but like it's a it's a skill to actually get somebody to follow you without having that leverage. And that's why I say it's a skill being a leader.
Yeah, it definitely is. I tell people all the time, listen, I don't have to know where we're going, where the GPS is taking us, but I need to know that you got it on and what the end goal is. If you say that we're going to end over here, I need to end over there. I'll let you lead in that space. But I think because of the points you just made, where a lot of men are like, I make money, it is what it is. What are you going to do without me? That's why so many women have become as independent as we have become.
Hmm.
I had a person tell me that we should stop chasing the degrees because that doesn't matter. But that's how we prevent ourselves from being in situations like what you just described.
Yeah. Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the chasing of the degrees.
Okay.
Um, I have a fundamental belief that I don't like black people's relationship with education, and I'll tell you why. When I
Okay.
was younger, my my mom wanted me to get A's, right? She wanted us all to get straight A's,
Hmm.
and I didn't like school at all. I hated school because
Okay.
I'm a boy, and I'm a boy, and I want to be ripping and running, you know.
Yeah.
But I was extremely intelligent, but I just did not like sitting down. I ain't like listening to these people, all that type of stuff, right? So I hated school. But I would you would get you would get when your parents say you come home with straight A's, you'll get something, right?
Hmm.
And I think that's just it's kind of like this thing of like, all right, this thing on a piece of paper that your parents can brag about. Look, he just got straight A's. Look at him over there. He just got straight A's. Can you believe my son got straight A's, right? But it don't really do much for you. And then I think later in life, your parents want you to go to school, they want you to go to college, which can be a very beneficial thing. But typically, a lot don't care what you go for; they just want you to go, and
Mm.
they just want to be able to say that my kid is educated, my kid got an education, they over here doing something, they in college and stuff like that. And I think that tends to rub off on. Let's just use our women for now. It tends to rub off on our women in what's the word I'm looking for? Um, they get a certain level of hubris, right? Whereas they think that the education makes them more competent in other aspects. So I believe that education can make you smart. It can give you education, right? It can give you knowledge, but it doesn't necessarily make somebody an intelligent person, or it doesn't necessarily make you a good leader. It doesn't
Hmm.
necessarily make you a good communicator. It can help, it can benefit, but in a lot of these fields, it doesn't make you better at these other things. Um, and that's the part that I don't like, and I think it stems from our childhood, where our parents just kind of like get an education and you qualify, get an education and you did what you're supposed to do, right?
Hmm.
So it allows people to think, yeah, I'm intelligent, I got an education. Like, slow down, I got an education. That's what I don't like about it.
Yeah, I mean, I can see the aspect of that. And I do feel like our parents put us through that. I have a 14-year-old daughter, and listen, I tell anybody around me, I'm like, hey, I don't think she's gonna want to do college. She doesn't even like school now. And I don't want to be like my parents, putting myself in debt just to say she has a degree. Go and do what you feel like is beneficial for you to do. But I also feel like, yeah, book smarts, street smarts, completely different thing. Like I said earlier, the education and experience is what's going to teach you. I can study men and learn them and women and how they interact from sitting in a certain seat, but I really learned from experiencing it
Yeah.
because a lot of times I feel like I don't want to say like we use that for women as compensation for how intelligent we are. I feel like it was instilled in us to go out and be able to make a life for yourself that wouldn't bound you to feeling stuck. And I feel like somebody said the other day, women throw that up in men's face a lot. Why though? Is it like a cause and effect thing? But then why have we ever asked ourselves the question, why do the women, and we're going to talk about our community for a minute, why do the women of our community feel the need to hustle so hard and put ourselves in so much debt for a degree that won't even pay us enough to pay it off at the end of the day, just so we won't feel stuck or hindered in a relationship with the opposite sex within our community. That's the problem. That's
Yeah.
the issue. It shouldn't be like that. We shouldn't even be asking these questions about leadership and provider skill. It Some conversations I feel like came about because it's a cause and effect.
Yeah. I think I agree with that. I think education can be a very good thing. Um Formal education, or other types of education. I think it can be important. But when it comes to, I think a lot of women, they want stuff, right? Because of what they see. They see things, and women are like dreamers, right? Women are
Yes,
visionaries. So
fairy tale.
when you see something that you want that, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think a lot of them are working because they necessarily like, yo, I just got to be able to survive. I think a
Hmm.
lot of them are like, yo, I saw this woman and she was like a boss. I want to be that. I saw this woman and she was getting money. She had her Louis bag, and I'm like, I need that, right? I want to be that, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's the main reason that women are like striving to like go
Hmm.
so hard, because
Hmm.
they don't just want to survive. They want to like, no, I need all that.
I want to live. I don't just want
Yeah.
to survive. I want to enjoy my life. Like I'll tell people all the time when they get upset when I say I cannot date someone who makes less than me. And it's not because I don't feel like he wouldn't come with all the great characteristics of a great person. But as a partner for me, I don't want to give up the things that help me live. I don't want to give up my trips. I don't want to give up my long nails, my weave that y'all complain about. I don't want to give up my shopping. And, I don't want to give up those things. And so I feel like you're right. I've worked hard to get here.
Mhm.
But for me, it stemmed from a place of like, okay, I need to be a go-getter. I want to change my life, the course of my life in this way. But yes, for a lot of women, we have been put in a space to do and fend for ourselves, right? If you look at the comments on my post and other people's posts, men are saying, until you become my wife, I don't want to support you or elevate you in any way, but I will have sex with you until we decide to take it further. So it's like, as women, you got to go out and get it yourself. And sometimes it is because she has the unrealistic
Mhm.
expectations of what she's going after, and she's trying to make it a realistic expectation
Yeah.
on her own.
Yeah. Because a woman would be required to settle, and some women just don't feel comfortable doing that when it comes to things they want out of life.
Yeah.
If you with a man that makes less, and it's like, no, babe, we can just be comfortable where we at. And it's like they seeing other men, they seeing other people getting money, and they like,
Yeah.
yo, they don't want that for themselves. Here's my question for you, right? Because you say you wouldn't date a man that make less than you. I don't have a problem with that at all. I think that make a lot of sense. However, I'm not sure if you know the reason why you wouldn't do it. Or if you tell yourself a reason that's not true. So what do you? Why is the reason that you won't date a man that make less than you?
Experience for me. I've been down the road of dating someone who made less than me, still respecting that place of him being in leadership. We began to resent each other. I was ready for things before he was. Buying a home. I was ready for that before he was. I excelled in my career more than he did. And
Can I ask you a question about that?
mhm,
You said you were ready to buy a home before him.
mhm,
Well, I guess this particular person that you're talking about, were you guys serious or like
mhm,
planning a future together?
yes, we had been together at that point for 4 years. So
Okay,
we had gone through living separately in different states and visiting more, to living together to see each other in that season, to then
mm,
saying we want something else, like marriage and buying a home, bringing our families together.
okay.
So yeah,
And
it
I'm
was just a good.
assuming when you say you were ready to buy a home before him,
Mhm.
you were ready for you both to get a home together, and he didn't want to do that yet.
No, it wasn't that. Okay, I'm gonna be frank with it. We both wanted to buy a home, right? And we dropped the seed probably like a year or two prior. We dropped the seed about it. So instantly I started manifesting it and working towards it. When I say he wasn't ready, we sat in a meeting and I looked at him and said, "We're here in this meeting to learn how to become homeowners. What have you saved over the last 2 years?" And he looked at me and he said, "Nothing." And I looked at him and I said, "Get your things and let's go." At that point, I could no longer, I at that point I was like, yeah, I'm hindering myself. I'm ready to have this part of my life happen. I've secured my future enough. I've worked hard on it. What have you been doing? Um, and he couldn't sustain the things I wanted him to because we were on two different financial paths, two different tax brackets. So for
Mm.
me, it's experience and it's a little trauma in that department too, because I learned my lesson from there. I saw what I could have did differently. I saw what I could have gave more to, have been more patient on. And I don't want to go back to that space. I personally don't think that it ends well. And before I put myself in another situation to feel overly tired, um, I'd rather just choose differently.
Interesting. This is what's interesting. Because you notice, what I think you noticed was he had bad habits financially.
Very,
Um,
yes.
he wasn't good with money. He probably wasn't very responsible and things like that. Which, to me, I don't think there's a super strong correlation to how much you make and how responsible you are.
Mhm.
Um, it's very possible that like you just met an irresponsible nigga, and a nigga that
I
made
think he was.
and a guy that made that much money could still be responsible. Like, yeah, I saved up some money, you
Yeah.
know. Um, I think a lot of women won't date a man that makes less than them because we're socialized not to, and it makes sense to me. You know, we
Yeah.
just socialize. Like a lot of women, like for example, when you were talking about I don't want to have to give up my vacations and things like this. Well, you don't have to give up your vacations. You can take them with you. You got money, right?
Yeah.
You know, but it's like you ain't about to take care of no nigga, right?
No, I don't. Look, let me tell you something. I am, if I love you down, if I'm a Spurs, especially on your birthdays and stuff like that and trips, I will randomly say, pack your bags, I booked a trip, let's go. But when you have men who are not in a good financial space, mind you, you got to take care of a household, you're building families, you're saving, you're investing, whatever the case may be. For him, I'm gonna go back to that relationship. He did not have as much vacation money and time as I did. Did I deal with it? Yes. But my mom used to always tell me on the corner, she'll say, "Baby girl, this is what makes your life thrive. If you get to know me, you'll know after 90 days, Snow got to see somewhere a plane. I got to be in the air, or I am not going to be the nicest person that you want to be with. I'm probably going to be a bitch, and I'm cool with that. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
why would I put my partner through that? Why would I put you through that space? Because yes, I don't want the vacations to fall on me all the time.
Hmm.
They're not going to fall on me all the time. But I also believe, like, even with that situation, un- unknowingly as a woman, when you put yourself in that situation, you would de-emasculate a man without even knowing it. I remember one time he told me, he was like, he we had this whole debacle. He was cheating or whatever, but of course he wanted to blame it on me. He was like, "You didn't allow me to be a man." Now, did I allow him to be a man? Absolutely not, because I did not trust his decision making or his financial literacy at all. I
Hmm.
hated it. So
Right.
I had to take accountability in that space, but I also had to say, this is the man you chose. You either can do one or two things. You can let him be a man, or you can go and be with a different man. So I remember he told me one day, he was like, we were riding one day, and you looked at me and you told me, I run this shit. I said, I said that? Me? He said, yes, you. I said, oh, that that's how I felt. You get what I'm saying? But I
Yeah.
didn't even realize. And that scarred that man for years to come in our relationship.
Yeah.
But we could have avoided all that. I could have avoided all that when I noticed from the first time that even though you make less than me, you're not good with your financial decisions that you make. And I'm better at that. And I don't want to spend too, because I feel like I don't mind teaching, but I feel like it's only so much teaching I can do. So for me,
Yeah.
I was like, mm-mm.
It's only so much teaching you can do as a woman because you don't want to have to teach a man.
Yeah, I don't feel comfortable.
Yeah.
I don't feel comfortable teaching you in areas you should already understand. And let me say this before you enter into a relationship, right? So,
Hmm.
as a woman, there are going to be things before you take me as your woman that you will want me to already understand how to do. And I'm
Okay.
asking women to do the same thing. So, you shouldn't want a man to come into your life and be this great provider, leader, have this great financial literacy, and all of these things if you couldn't even do it on your own before he came about.
Yeah.
I don't even feel like a man
Mhm.
should want to put space in teaching you that. Cause why are
Yeah.
you looking for a man at that
You know
time?
what's crazy? 'Cause I'm stuck on the part when you said I'll run this shit. That's crazy.
Please,
That's the
y'all.
craziest thing to say to your man. I'll
It's
run
the
this
cra-
shit.
and I know I never want to be disrespectful to anybody like that again. For me to unknowingly say that, I said it
Yeah.
because I felt it, so I couldn't argue him down.
Yeah.
But I never want to make somebody feel like that shouldn't even I shouldn't even been in the space for that to even come out my mouth. But those are my
Hmm.
choices. I
Yeah.
gotta I gotta own it. I was with a partner who made those type of things come out of me. But yeah, when he told me that, I was like, but I was. I listen, I was wearing the pants and the skirt.
Yeah.
Um, because I had to teach him how to financially juggle his money with his newfound sense of family that he created.
Okay. I'm curious. Because I'm curious, like, would you, if a man made less money, let's say you made 150,000,
Mhm,
and a man you was with made 80,000. That's almost double what he makes, right?
mhm.
But he was financially responsible. I'm curious, would you be okay with that?
I would. I
Okay,
would.
so you would date a man that make less than you. You think you would?
Okay, so now that you put it like that, yes,
Okay,
I would, but I don't prefer to, and I
okay,
don't even try to.
gotcha.
But when you put it like that, I can't take away from a good partner being a good partner. I can't.
Yeah.
Because me, I grew up in a space where my parents did not understand what financial stability looked like, right? So that's a
Mhm.
trauma for me. And I feel like if I put in the work to be able to understand this part of life, you should too. So yes, if you're coming in as a good partner and you're making that much and you can contribute and I don't have to sacrifice, remember the things that make me because I don't want you to do that as well. I
Yeah.
could I would not be opposed to that. I would not. And I would let that person lead in that space if they're coming in knowing how to financially run this household.
Okay. Okay. So you okay? So we
So
got
you
it.
got me thinking outside the box. I
Yeah.
like how you
Ain't
did
outside the
that.
box. Yeah,
I
you
like how
thinking?
you did that. But I feel like it's different. I don't feel like we run across, and I could be wrong. Like I said, I don't box all men in, but I don't feel like we run across too many men that know how to balance his ego when it comes to making less than his woman. And
You
that's the
know,
space I don't want to put myself in.
I really honestly I think those are more what I want to say low functioning men. I think
Hmm.
low functioning men can't balance that, right?
Yeah.
Whereas men who are responsible and things like that with their money and their, they okay with the much amount of money they make and they just kind of live a more cookie cutter. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna invest in this. My
Mm.
401k, all that type of stuff. I think a lot of those guys might not care as much,
Right.
but
Okay.
also a lot of those guys might not possess certain traits that attract you to them. A guy that's not as much of a risk taker, a guy that's a little bit more, buttoned up in certain ways. Maybe that's a piece of that puzzle. You know.
When you say risk taker, elaborate on that a little bit.
Um, like for example, well, I'm a risk taker, right? I'm more I make decent money, but it's because I'm an entrepreneur because I'm not afraid to take risks. You know,
Okay.
I don't like I personally never I don't like working for other people. It just it don't I don't like I don't even like even when it comes to social media content like all that type of stuff. I ain't really trying to take brand deals ever at really at any point for real because I'm not trying to get you no shit at a certain time. I got 72 hours to do this. I got like
Mhm.
that just don't work for me. You know, it don't work for me. So I'm somebody that's every single time I'm gonna be an entrepreneur. I'm gonna risk what I gotta risk to be an entrepreneur, right? I don't care about all the safe stuff. Like, you live once, right? So I'm more in line with that. But it's a lot of other guys who like, oh no, no, I gotta invest in my 401k and I gotta no, no, I need my job, my health insurance, and I can't, what am I gonna like? I don't, that ain't me,
You're right. Right.
you know. So
When you
yeah,
put it like that, you're right. You're right. I would prefer you not be a risk taker. I don't mind you being a risk taker, but because going back to that relationship, that was a person who was in entrepreneurship, could
okay,
build houses with his eyes closed. You get what I'm saying?
yeah,
Made really good money. You know, brick masons and all this make really good money.
yeah,
Um, but it just went back into, so the risk part of it didn't bother me as long as you had something stable going on, if that makes sense. Like I would rather you be a 9 to 5 and an entrepreneur from 5 to 9 until
yeah,
we can make a transition into that. But that comes from maybe we grew up differently. You know, I don't know what
yeah.
your childhood was like versus mine. You can maybe take that mentally. I can't take that on mentally.
Mm.
I can't personally, because the security is important for me.
A lot of women, I think most women that I meet are like that. Whereas like which is why when certain things are out of order, y'all get a little bit of anxiety, you know,
Mhm.
even with small things around the house. They really start to bother you, even if it's like just a small issue, something that a man will look over for, like if you did it if you did it, a man will probably give you grace, like, yeah, baby, you don't gotta do the dishes tonight, right? Like he probably
Yeah.
won't mention it to you, but small things with you, it's like out of order things with you, it's a thing, and it sits with you and it bothers you. Um, it's just the way we built, you know.
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like I was telling somebody this the other day because we was having a similar conversation, and I said, "Girl, that's nagging." I think women need to understand the difference between expressing a need and nag and like nitpicking. She was telling me, she was like, you know, I wanted my boyfriend to do something right at the time that I was doing it, and he didn't do it. And I said, well, why does he have to move when you want him to move? And I feel like as women, that goes back into, you got to make sure that you're in a partnership to where all of that stuff balances out, because women only start nitpicking when something isn't really right. You got to understand, like when you're good in the space that you're in and your partner is doing exactly what needs to be done, you, like you said, there's some stuff you'll scale back on. It's some stuff you may not even mention. So I feel like the nitpicking comes from a place of cause and effect.
Hmm. Interesting. That
Not
makes sense.
always saying that he has to be wrong. It could be something she did too, but I feel like it it comes from a cause and effect place.
Yeah, you could be right with that. I'm not I'm I'm processing that one, but I think you could be right. You know, because I do think it's something inside of women that's like, even if it's something small, sometimes it's like it's gonna bother you.
Right. But when you think about when that, let's use a hypothetical couple for example. We got a man
Okay.
and a woman. They're thriving in their relationship. No relationship is perfect, but things are going the way they need to. He's doing his job, she's doing her job. When she's thriving, it's some things she's going to overlook, right? We can even say in a bad relationship, how do you think so many women repeat the same cycle with the same type of person? That's the reason why.
Hmm.
So you repeat the same cycle over and over again because you're overlooking the small things because of how you feel about him. So if a woman is saying something, something is going wrong.
Okay, that's
Cause
fair.
you, I have to tell
So
a lot of women who I talk to, like, you got to come out of that. Like, you can't keep making excuses because you love him and only nag and complain when you don't like him no more. That's a
what about
problem.
the toilet seat?
The what?
The toilet seat. What about that? Is that a big deal? Is that a small deal?
Y'all don't even want to know what I did one time when somebody kept leaving up the toilet seat. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna use myself for example. Y'all probably go get me in the comments. It does not bother me, but this is when it does. When I was in that relationship and everything was good, I'll let down the toilet seat. I'll let it down. Oh, but when it started to get bad, the way I told you it was, oh, you leave that toilet seat up, I'm going crazy. It ain't cute no more. I remember one time y'all, I asked him multiple times, I said, hey, do you mind putting the toilet seat down and wiping the toilet seat off? We are grown. We're in our 20s.
Did you say that to
And
him? You said we grown?
no, I didn't say we grown. I
Okay.
didn't. I didn't. I came to him. I said, "Do you mind, babe?" I'm gonna tell you exactly what I said. I said, "Do you mind, babe? In the morning time before you go to work, like let down the toilet seat because me and the baby girl, we had one bathroom that time. She's learning to be potty trained. I don't want her to fall in the toilet. And also, like make sure you check the toilet seat right behind it." I said that multiple times.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, the relationship is getting a little chaotic. I'm the breadwinner. There's a lot going on. He left that toilet seat nasty one more time. I took that nice face towel he wiped his face with in the morning and wiped the toilet
Oh
seat.
my God.
And when he got done, I said, "The face towel you just wiped your face with, that's how I feel when I sit my ass on that seat. Wet."
Oh my God.
But I say that to say, like, the resentment that comes up in a relationship will make you nitpick about things that didn't even really matter to you.
Yeah.
It didn't matter to me when he was a good person, but it mattered to me when it was so much chaotic stuff going on that even the smallest things, toothpaste cap off the toothpaste, I hated it.
Yeah.
I don't care about that stuff now. I don't care. That doesn't bother me. But if you aggravate me, it probably will.
Yeah.
But
Do
I
you feel do you feel like that's something that y'all should work on?
What the wait,
Like
which part exactly?
let's say your relationship, let's say you're not too happy with your man, right?
Mhm.
Do you feel like that is a good reason to, I'm not going to say lash out, but to maybe lose your grace when it comes to communication?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I think as women, we should learn to communicate and be more transparent with how we feel. I think we end up in those situations of frustration because we do the opposite of what y'all do. You guys will state your expectations and your rules to dating you or whatever the case may be, and you're not going to budge. We budge. So then now we're in the situation and we accepted something we knew we didn't like from the beginning, so now everything else is aggravating us, and now our communication sucks. I
Do
don't think
you
that's a good thing to do.
do you think do you think women accept things? Let me try and paint a better picture of this. Um do you think a woman is wrong for getting into a relationship with something that she doesn't like, but she never communicates it, and then eventually that same thing is the demise of the relationship
Yes.
because in her
Yes.
mind she thinks it can change?
Absolutely. That's the biggest mistake that we make. And that is why I speak so much on my platform the way that I do. Exactly. We do it all the time. We will try to be exactly what you want us to be because we're always trying to be chosen. And until women get out of that space, a lot of us have now gotten into a space that we don't desire to be chosen the way that we normally would, and our decision making is better. But yes, for sure. That's why I always say have conversations up front. But how do you feel about this? I feel like it's easier for a man to tell a woman what he desires or wants from her. But I feel like it's hard for us because we're then looked at as beggars, users, gold diggers, asking for too much. How do we navigate through that?
I think it's I don't think it's that hard. I think a lot of times you'll just do it with the men you don't like, and I
Mm,
think you don't do it with the men that you do like selfishly because you're afraid that you'll lose that individual. But I don't think they understand the impact of it, long
mhm.
term when they make those decisions. But I do think y'all tiptoe a little bit around the men that you do like because you be honest, you're willing to accept those things, at least in the moment,
Yeah, yeah.
you know. And I think that's a big issue. Like for example, right? You can be a woman who she may not be too fond of the sex with a man, right? But in her head, she might tell her it's going to get better. She might tell herself, yeah, it'll get better. And then you 4 years in your relationship, and now it's like, you're gonna end up cheating on him because you just did not like the sex, so you end up, it ends up trickling into something else, and now
Yeah.
you hate him because now everything he do get on your nerves, and it all just started with because you didn't just tell him like, yo, I'm not really, I don't really feel like we sexually compatible or something like that.
Do you feel like that conversation is easy for women to I've had that conversation with somebody before, but do you feel like that's easy for women to have with men? Because when I had that conversation, oh goodness, the defense was, oh my God, you should never had a baby. I'm like, but I actually didn't push my baby out. So we're talking about your shortcomings here. So we got to talk about how we do that. But it was really hard to
Mm,
do. I don't think we have that space to tell y'all our true desires. I don't feel like we have that space. Even if we like you, like you said, we'll put up with a lot, right? For most women, when you're in that space of life, you'll take more from the man who you like more than the man that you don't.
yeah.
But and you'll tiptoe around it. But we're tiptoeing so much around it that we don't have that conversation with our partner.
Is that the whole stream or is that just her? Let me maybe I can try to push her out and get her to come back. Let's kick her from the studio real quick, and we'll get her to come back. I mean, how y'all do y'all have any questions that y'all want me to ask? If y'all got any questions y'all want me to ask, put it in the chat and I'll write them down so we can so I can ask her. Appreciate that, Rush. Appreciate you. Uh, my water box is so small. I could make them bigger, but like with her being vertical and me being square, it kind of look a little funny. All right, we got her back.
I'm sorry, what were we saying? I lost my train of thought.
What were we talking about? Uh, we were talking about women accepting things and not saying anything about them, and we started talking about like, yeah,
Right. So I feel like you said, a lot of women, we do, when you're in that space in your life, you accept more from the person that you like. But the conversation is still hard to have because if you really think about it, we should be able to to steer into that conversation of our expectations when y'all do it. And I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, men do it from the beginning. Y'all like what you like, you want what you want, you state that, and then we decide at that point, are we going to transform? As a woman, will you be a transformer or will you move past that? But we don't have that option to like jump head first into saying, okay, this is what you expect, this is what I expect.
I think y'all do have the option. I think y'all just don't do it. I don't think
Really?
I think most women like just don't have sex conversations with men. Like for example, right? The first time you lied during sex, right, about how good it felt, and you started fake moaning or whatever, right? Did he ask you to
Right.
do that,
You
or you
say, did
did?
he ask?
Yeah, or did you just start fake moaning?
It was just started. It was
You
something
just
you
started
felt like
fake
you had
moaning.
to do. But you
Ain't
know, that
nobody
came with
asked you.
stroking y'all ego though. We was always told you gotta stroke the ego.
It's certain ways that you should stroke a man's ego, but I don't think you should sexually unless you comfortable with the sex. If you comfortable with the
Okay.
sex, stroke his ego. But if you ain't really like it, then I think that's a tactic y'all use not to for a man not to leave y'all. If because you don't want to make it an issue because you don't want to leave him yet.
Right.
In the moment you ain't ready to
Right.
leave
Yeah.
him yet. Yeah.
Yeah, there can be some instances to where they're not ready to leave. But I'm gonna always say this. I'm big on like I've never let that steer my relationships or I'm just being honest. Have it did it become aggravating? I'm not gonna say that it didn't, but
Okay.
I have friends that base their relationship off of that. Me, If you are a good person and you treat me right, I'm sorry. I will accept telling you how to maneuver through this space with me and accept the respect from you and the love from you, then go over here and get it from somebody who's about to be giving me exactly the great nuances of what I want, but he's completely disrespectful.
Mm.
I
You could
can't, but
be
I have friends that do.
you could be happy with a man who do you think you could be happy with a man who just like you didn't enjoy
I
being physical with
have.
him and you were happy?
I have.
Okay.
I have. Did I come did Hey, I'm not gonna say that I didn't have those sidebar conversations to where it was aggravating, but I communicated my needs and my wants to that person. Whether it was hard or not, I was like, listen, if we gonna do this and we gonna be together, I have to tell you.
Hmm.
And even though he became defensive at first, he actually changed what I needed to be changed. And
Okay,
it was
so
good. It was
it
great
was
after that.
something he could fix.
You want me to tell you what it was?
If you want to, it's up to you.
uh, I had a conversation once with someone about the size of their manhood.
Okay.
And suggested that they take these enhancements. And of course, it was defensiveness at first. But once they understood where I was coming from, what I needed to be satisfied, the bottle said take one and they took two.
Okay. Did they work?
It did. I had to tell my homegirl. I said, girl, you might want to, because I said, you might want to try this, maybe have that. And that's what opened me up to being that friend who could then say, hey, have a conversation.
Yeah.
Like, I had to weigh so many things. Like, and at that point in my life, I had never been DIC they say that's a big thing. I hadn't experienced that. And I think the people who are the friends that I know, they're in that space. But for me, I'm like, have a conversation with
Yeah.
him. Like, what can he do differently for you in that space so it's enjoyable? Because if you think about it as a woman, I tell a lot of women, like, this man over here may be giving you exactly what you want sexually. He may be satisfying you in that area, but you're always so damaged emotionally.
Mm.
So for women, I feel like it's very I'm gonna scale that back. I don't think that it is okay for you to base your relationship off of that. I think that's ridiculous.
Okay. Okay.
But we do. We do. It
Yeah.
happens. But that's where the accountability conversations come in that I have. What's more important to you?
Okay. I got a question. If you let's say hypothetically you had a man, is he allowed to like other women's photos on social media?
I don't care about that.
Okay. That's
To
cool.
be I don't care about that. To be honest, if I'm probably laying in the bed watching TikTok, like, oh my gosh, she's beautiful. Oh, she's fine. I'm probably clicking and coming more than I don't. I
Gotcha.
think if you start to weigh in on that, that's an insecurity of yourself. Me, I've learned to not settle down with a partner who I can't fully trust. And this is what I mean about fully trust. They can have something happen when I'm not around and I'm the first person that they tell about it before they even leave the building because they know it would make me uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
So liking a picture, that doesn't bother me. Because the
Okay.
hard stuff you already told me when you could have left me in the dark. I wasn't there to know that this woman did X, Y, and Z to you, but you immediately called me and let me know this happened. This will probably make you uncomfortable if you were to know this. So I'm going to tell you this now. So I'm
Okay.
good.
What about a man who just follows like a ton of women? Ton of women he just follow him, new women every day who he finds attractive. You okay with that too? Doesn't bother you?
It doesn't bother me. And you probably going to laugh when I say this, but 9 times out of 10, you fall in women you probably can't get or never meet. Like, like it doesn't bother. And even if, and again, it goes back into a trust thing. Like, I don't expect you
Hmm.
to be following all males all day. I get it. Men
Yeah.
see with their eyes. They like to, just like women. If women are honest, half of our timeline is probably full of handsome men
Mm.
and beautiful women. But we can do both. They're not allowed to do both. Y'all are not allowed to do both.
Hmm.
So why are we gonna nitpick about something that's so superficial? That's the unrealistic expectations that women have.
Okay, is your because I want to understand. I want to try to fully understand your point of view or your position. Or what if you guys are out? Is he allowed to look at you? You guys are allowed to look. He's allowed. I'm sorry. He's allowed to look at other women.
I'm not gonna say you can blatantly disrespect me in my face and look at another woman. I'm not gonna say that, but
Okay.
do I think you're blind? No. There's a way that I don't expect someone to look at the ground. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There are two types of people. I've seen people turn all the way around when the woman is there. And then you have one that those are things I don't see. So doing it in my face and I'm knowing about it, no. I don't tolerate that type of disrespect.
Okay. So okay. So that's your line right there. What if another woman said that that's insecurity that you don't allow him to do that? Because you know some women who be like, oh, if he look, I'm gonna look too.
And look, I'm the type of person I'll probably look before, my partner does, but to her point of saying that it's an insecurity, I don't feel that way. I feel like it may be an insecurity with her and, how she wants to do things. I feel like in the insecurity, I feel steers from wanting to not lose him so much that she allows a lot, and
Mm,
overlooks what could be potentially disrespectful because she feels like a look isn't a touch. But
mhm,
we can go from looking to touching very quickly. And
mm.
if you give someone an inch, they'll take a mile. So I
So
think it's just for women who really, I feel like they've accepted that a man is going to be a man. That's what I'm gonna say.
what if there was a woman, right, who took that same argument you just made against that woman and
Mhm.
they used it for you as far as liking pictures on social media? What if they said, you know what, I think that she just accepts anything because she don't want to lose him.
Mhm.
And, I feel like that's an insecurity that she just accepts disrespect in front of her face. What would you say to that woman who said that?
I will respectfully disagree. Um, because I would bring back into the conversation that we are talking about the internet. Too many people have unrealistic expectations based on what they see on the internet. The internet is not real for some people.
Yeah.
um,
What if let me pause you right there. Let me push back on that point.
mhm,
As if I'm that woman, right? Let's say I'm that woman and I say, you said the internet is not real.
mhm.
Um, have you ever met a man on Instagram and went on a date?
I have not.
Interesting.
I don't do the
Um,
DMs. I'm
okay.
sorry.
Interesting. Okay. There are a lot of what if you found out that there were a lot of people who met a lot of people on Instagram
I
and went
believe
on
it.
a yeah, like because a lot of people say Instagram is not real, and this is the way I
Yeah.
push back on that argument. Instagram is not real, right? People are real.
Right.
So
Okay.
Instagram is no different from your phone. It's no different from email. It's no different from the
Mhm,
internet. It's a tool, right?
mhm,
It's a proxy. So it connects me to you.
mhm.
So if I go on Instagram and I like a woman's picture, Instagram ain't do shit. I like shorty. That's
Right.
me, right? That's me. If I
Right.
message that woman, if I message her, Instagram ain't do a damn thing. That's my message. Those my words, right?
Okay.
Um, and this is another thing, right? For the men who say Instagram is not real, because a lot of men say that conveniently.
Mhm,
Okay, so Instagram not real. That girl that you just started dating and you just started fucking on, right? That
mhm.
you in your mind you wouldn't wife her because she got twerking videos up there. Will you wife her?
You
But
right about that.
Instagram not
No,
real.
no,
Instagram not
I
real.
would not. Would not. Okay, okay, so if she pushed back on me with that type of argument, I would have to say you're absolutely right. When it comes to the next step you take within those moments, that's absolutely real. But for me, I feel like I would argue it goes back to my choices. Me personally, I pride myself in making better dating choices. And I think I refuse to let things that are out of my control or that come from a place of fear that somebody is going to do something to me dictate what my partner does. Not saying that I accept them being them. It's just that I don't I feel like I've chosen better. I feel safe. It's a safety net for me. So I don't for me that's when it comes into play. It ain't really real. It's real, but in my mind I'm like I'm not one of those women that's about to go through and see every woman that you follow to like them and make a big issue about it.
Yeah.
Probably because I'm liking and coming in and maybe because I'm doing like I don't know. Like I spent
Yeah.
hours on TikTok just come. I can see something. I'm like, oh my god, he's so handsome. And I'm in the comments just talking and I'm saying it out loud while I'm chilling. So it's I
Mm,
don't. And to me, it's not a. I don't take it further than that. But some people can. So I
yeah.
would just let her know based on my choices and how I feel about my partner. I'm not going to isolate them from doing regular social media activities or interactions because I'm insecure about what they're possibly going to do after that. I
Got
can't.
you. I get that. That make perfect sense. My position on it, of course, I don't like other women's photos, but my
Mhm.
position on the guys who push back on it, I think they are disingenuous, and it gives me pause of like, okay, I'm saying that I don't like women's photos, and you're telling me that I should just delete the app, right? And I use it for
Mhm.
so many more things. I use it,
Mhm.
like I don't even think about liking like women. I barely follow women like that, right? I don't even. That's not my algorithm.
Yeah.
I'm trying to learn stuff. I'm finding places to eat that me and my lady can go to, right? I'm, you know, information. I'm
Yeah.
posting stuff. I want people. I'm posting my point of view and stuff like that. You know, and a lot of other men, I'm curious. Like, not liking a woman's post a picture means so much to you that you're willing to tell your girl, I might as well just delete the app. Like, god damn. Let's no, that's what would make me as a woman be like, hold on. It
Yeah.
wasn't
Nah.
that big of a deal. I just brought it up, but you saying you like for real?
Yeah. Yeah. I've been there before. I've had that conversation. That's different. It's all about I think how they react to the point of that. But I also, it. I feel like it's such a sticky situation because there's so many people that they don't like one person's stuff coming under anything, but boy, they use that app for some things
Hmm.
that they should not be doing. And I guess I don't know, I guess over life experiences, like the things that I've experienced, I feel like it just all boiled back down to my choices. Like I would never respect a man who felt the way you just said that they may feel. Oh, I'm going to delete the app because this is a boundary of mine. Now I'm going to say this. It's a difference between random likes as you're scrolling or whatever the case may be. It's a difference in what you're liking, right?
Mm,
I feel like that's a message there. But also I feel like I'm not going to dictate what you do, but you're not going to be disrespectful. I can't take the disrespect. It's again, I feel like for me, social media has always been fun, right? It's been fun. It's a billion people, and where I'm getting to know so many people. They funny, everybody's nice looking, they got their own fly style, whatever. So I'm always that's me. Um, so I feel like there's a way that you do it. I would never want a disrespectful person that's commenting derogatory things under somebody's post. You're taking it farther than you need to. Or if you ever tell me you feel like you want to delete that app because I feel like you're overstepping the boundary of mine. Like I would never allow a person that I'm talking to keep liking and commenting on somebody they used to talk to. That and it's not even an insecurity. It's respect.
yeah.
We're not gonna do that. We're
Okay.
I would we're not gonna do that. So I think it's just about how somebody does it. And I've learned this as I've gotten older, and even in my work life balance. Um, to not make certain situations bigger than what they are or cross bridges before I ever need to do so.
Yeah.
So I say that to say if I choose correctly, then I feel like I don't have to create that bridge. I can address it if I get there, and there are points that I will address it. But also, I feel like sometimes women make things bigger than what they are. For example, those women who say that, are you really saying that because you feel disrespected and that's a boundary, or are you saying that because he's already giving you signs before that he can't be trusted in that space?
Mm. Can I give it to you from a male perspective,
Mm-hmm.
or my male perspective? I would feel uncomfortable. It would be a no. I would feel disrespected if my woman was liking men's pictures, right?
Okay.
Now, okay, let's say you like a picture of Lance Gross, like I don't give,
Right.
right? Or you like a picture of Genuine, like I don't care, right? But let's say it's a much more normal guy, and he taking his little fly photos, and you like them,
Mm-hmm.
and you continuously like those. I think that's disrespect based on I don't that's access. I'm not gonna say access. That's attention that should be saved for me. I
Okay.
don't want him to feel like I never want another man to feel like, I can hit shorty.
I can slide. Mm-hmm.
I don't never, even if he like, I'm not going to. I ain't never gonna try, but I can hit shorty. She choosing. I
Right.
don't like when you out with your woman and she got those, and let's say she just looking at niggas in the eye, right? And niggas like, shorty choosing. I don't even want that,
Yeah.
right? Like I don't even want that to be like, yeah, I could take shorty if I wanted to, but I ain't going. I'm gonna lay off board. Like I don't even want that, right? It just comes down to a thing of respect, and this is my biggest problem with the guys with it. Women are telling you, a lot of women are telling you that they speak a different language than you,
Mm-hmm.
and when it among women, this is what this means. When you like this woman's photo, it means this, and this is how
Mm-hmm.
it's understood by us, right? They like, nah, you're just insecure. A lot, like it's a lot of things that women won't understand about men. But if I tell my woman, listen, this is what this means in a man's world. So I'd
Mm-hmm.
like you to not make me look stupid by not
Right.
doing this. She need to respect that
Yeah,
because you
I
don't
agree
speak
with
my
that.
language. I'm
No,
translating for you.
I agree with that. I agree
That's
with
my
that.
biggest problem. And a lot of these guys are like the same guys who, if a woman had a male friend from the sandbox, they ask her to get rid of.
Do you feel like that's cool that they do though? Do you feel like men and women can be friends without intertwining?
It's possible. I think it's possible, and I think especially if they've been friends for a long time, and it depends on how that friendship was created. I think
Gotcha.
that matters. I don't have female friends for. Oh, I guess technically I do, but
Mhm.
I don't have no female friends that I'm out to that I want to necessarily invite to my wedding. That like I don't have nobody, no close female friends. I have acquaintances and people who probably consider me to be a friend to a degree, but I
Okay.
don't necessarily have those because I didn't have them from childhood, so I ain't gonna have them now.
Mm.
I ain't
So
gonna
you
develop
feel like
that.
develop that. You cannot develop that
No,
if it wasn't.
I can, and I think men can. So I think that my energy is a little bit more masculine, right? So that I don't prefer to be around women when it comes to hanging out and
Gotcha.
having fun. I just don't prefer that. So other guys who like they can have fun with women and hang out, be like, yeah, I got a lot of women friends. Like I'm not that guy who got a lot of women friends and all that type of
Mhm.
stuff. Like, and I could never make friends with a woman, um, and and like be friends and then date. That's never been my thing. Like if I like you, I pursue you. If
Right.
you don't, if you don't want me, cool. That makes sense. But I've never been that type of guy to like do the friend zone thing. Other guys can do that real good.
Right.
I'm not friend zone guy. You know,
Yeah, they can.
It's- I have no interest. So and a lot. Listen, I know a lot of men, especially like club promoters and stuff like that. They be friends with a lot of women, and at a certain point they can hit them. But they do
Mhm.
that. They play that friend thing. I'm like, oh yeah, we cool. But like at a certain point in the future, y'all, they all fair game to you. You know. So I don't
Mhm.
know. It's just not my way. But I get it with certain guys.
Men can be really patient when it comes to the friend zone, for sure. I can definitely speak to that. I feel like a lot of times men and women's friendships are created based on friend zoning, or they were friend zoned by the friend of the friend, and now everybody's friends. Um, so I do feel like as we get older, establishing those relationships start from a place that will not make men feel respected, because I feel like at a certain age, you see with your eyes first as men, you're hunters. So if you see me from across the room, You probably ain't looking at me like, shoot, that can be the homie right there. I want to go get the no dog. What's up with her? You looking like, she look good. And you may approach me like you said, and it doesn't go that way. But I do think from that point that if the man can actually respect the friend zone, that a real relation, a friendship can be.
That don't matter.
You don't think so? You think
Mm-mm.
it's always gonna be like hidden, crouching tiger, just waiting
Yeah,
there?
I'm a believer in I'm a believer in, for one, if I have to respect the friend zone, we got a problem,
Okay,
right? Like, you don't have to respect the friend zone with your sister, right? No, she's
true.
your
You
sister.
don't?
That's disgusting, right?
Right.
You don't got to with your cousin. You don't got
Right.
to with your homeboys because they men. That's disgusting.
Right.
But in this scenario, I gotta control myself. Let me control the way that I feel, like, I don't believe in that, right? And I
Yeah.
also believe that first impressions are extremely, like, you live and die on that hill. So if I'm a man, right, and I see you and you twerking and you got your, I can, your pants is rising up and I see how you dress and all that. I'm like, yeah, I want to take her down, right?
Hmm.
And a lot of and or if I'm a man and I got my money out, I'm flashy, like I got my money everywhere, I got chains on, I'm driving nice cars, like, shorty gonna want some money. So, you got all that money, you showing it to everybody. Okay, I want
Right.
that money, I want some of that, right? I think first impressions is just like, versus if she met you and you were more intelligent, she's like, oh, he's smart, I like that, that's intriguing, right? Then it will be different, but I think that first impression is very strong. So if I see you when I want you, if a man sees you when he wants you, I nope, it ain't never changing.
True. I guess women we friend zone so hard that shit we be ignoring it. So you're
Yeah.
probably right. We be like, whatever. We if once we bros on you, that's just it. It is what it is. So
Hmm.
I can definitely agree with that. I got a question
Okay.
because I really need to ask Emil this. I put this on my page the other day and I didn't get too many comments. So lately I've been hearing this controversial conversation about women who have kids, um, options vary to the point to where they don't have options. A lot of men in the comments are very biased about that being a scarlet letter or something that they said. How do you feel about the men who are biased with women who have kids in dating? What do you feel like her options look like?
Mm. If I'm being honest, most of them guys who feel that way already did it. If I'm
What you
being
mean?
honest, they did it before. They did it. They dated a woman with kids.
And they didn't like
Um,
it, maybe?
they didn't
Some
like it. It didn't work out. They realized, like, yo, I was a stepdad. A lot of these guys that I experienced, they've already been stepfathers before.
gotcha.
Yeah, but I think that's what they want. They want it to be true. It's just one of those things where men are being delusional. You want a woman who has kids to have limited options. Well, the world don't work how you want it to work. Women with children, if they look good, they still look good.
I agree.
You think a nigga gonna walk up with a woman with a kid? He gonna be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, you got a kid." Hell
Never
no.
mind.
He gonna be like, "How you doing, little buddy? Hey, this your mom? How you doing, miss?"
Go
Them
straight
niggas
to the
gonna,
toy aisle. What you
yeah.
need?
Now, depending on how you play that situation, it can be a quick situation for him, or he can stick around. Depending on how you play that situation. If you give him what he want fast, he out. He take it, he out, right? But you know, if it's a thing where you start to develop a relationship and he starts to develop love and care for you, he going he gonna take care of that kid. It's just how that works. I think we at the end of the day we humans, and people like to when they trying these shaming tactics. I get where it comes from and why they want to shame people for certain things. I get it, right? But at the end of the day, you are a human being, and you are that woman who has a kid. You have the capability of falling in love with her, even if you hate women with kids. So if you're not going to choose to, like, literally don't even touch them,
Hmm.
it's always a possibility you're gonna fall in love with something.
Mm. I like the way
So,
you put that. I agree. I had to like put emphasis on that because I feel like women are criticized in this shaming era of dating when it comes to weight, biological clock, and if you've already had kids or if you're committed with the ring or not. Um, and now don't get me wrong. I feel now that you explain it that way, it sounds like it's coming from a trauma response for them,
Hmm.
outcome that they didn't really like, and I get that, and that's why I say a lot of men express their um, emotions in the form of anger versus women. But then I also don't understand. I think what was confusing to me was, don't get me wrong, like someone who has multiple kids by multiple men, I
Hmm.
would talk to her about her decision making for sure. And I think when it comes to dating, when you have kids, your options, they vary, but not in a bad way. I think they vary because men in that space have to, like you said, realize if they're going to come in real quick or if you really going to be here, and you got to make up your mind pretty fast. I don't feel like it's really a lot of time to like enjoy getting to know each other. But then also too, I feel like women don't understand that the decisions you make now
Hmm.
definitely impact your options you have later. Um, because anything that you come into a relationship with that you have to bring from somewhere else, that can be considered a form of baggage, whether it's good or bad, whether you've maintained it and you have it disciplined or not. People look at baggage as something that they have to figure out how to incorporate into their lives. So I
Yeah.
do feel like it changes on that aspect, but I never understood. Now I understand why they were so upset. I was like, why is this such a big thing? I don't think it's, if you don't want it, you don't want it. If you do, you do.
It started with Kevin Samuels, if we're being honest. Kevin Samuels started to really get into, put that message out there of like, yo, you got kids, like you need to stop asking for so much.
Mm.
Which is some validity to that, right? We don't like entitled people, right?
Yeah.
Men, we like Cinderellas. We
Hmm.
prefer Cinderellas, you know. Um, so I get it, but at the same time, I just think we got to be real about it. Like to a certain degree, it's like, all right, chill out. Like I get it, you tell a woman, hey, be careful, yeah, but chill out. It ain't that deep. It's deep, but it ain't that deep. You know what's the thing for me?
Hmm.
I think often the situation, it just doesn't make sense for a lot of men. And that's perfectly fine.
Hmm.
But when you start the shaming stuff is corny, right?
Yeah.
You can get into a woman's life and you like, you know what? It don't make sense for me because I didn't really, maybe I want to take a lot of vacations and now this will mean that we got kids to worry about.
Hmm.
Or maybe it's a thing of he got a father in his life and it's just too risky to put myself in that situation because now he want to feel like, oh, ain't no other man in that house with my kids, and
Hmm.
cool, makes sense. You don't want to go through that.
Right.
It's a lot of things that'll make it not advantageous for somebody to go through, but there are a lot of situations that could work for you, whereas maybe his father not in his life, it's just her and the baby, it's just her and the kid. Maybe
Hmm.
that kid is extremely respectful, maybe that kid is receptive to you, you know
Hmm.
and maybe that'll make a lot of sense for you to be in that kid's life, and it's not a problem for y'all to. And maybe she has a strong support system. Mom is around. Mom is always willing to take the baby. Everybody in the family want to take the baby whenever they can, right? So these situations matter.
Right.
Just kind of going into it without context. I get it, but the shame and shit, is corny. Like I had kids before I had my woman with different women. And this is my thing. Yes, it'll cut off certain options. For the most part, I ain't missing the step. It just is what
Hmm.
it is because of my character,
You, yeah, yeah.
because of how I carry myself. So you know, um, yeah, I think the shaming stuff is corny, and women are starting to shame men back for it.
That's what I was about to ask you. Like, we had a whole conversation about, does a man's value decrease as much as they say women's value decrease when he has multiple kids or kids?
What was
Period.
your answer to that? What was your thought?
What was
Do you think
my
it's the same?
true thought process was, yes, the value decreases. And this is why I say that. Now I'm asking more questions, and more plays into the relationship. Me, I'm a woman that, and now we were talking from a six figure six figure man. That's the
Hmm.
point we were talking from. They were basically saying he can have all this money as long as he's rich. You'll be okay with accepting him and his multiple kids. I
Hmm.
said that for me, his value decreased because if we're going to take this relationship seriously, now I'm thinking about all the mothers that I have to deal with. I'm thinking about all the households that you're going to be supporting. And when I say that, it's if you are a great grandfather, you will not let the lights go off in the house that your children will be staying in, whether you are there with them or not.
Hmm.
I've been through that. Seen somebody in that space. So you got to deal with that. I'm thinking about child support. I'm thinking about all this money that they're saying that you're making, that I'm supposed to accept you in this space. To me, your value decreases because you have to split that amongst multiple households,
Hmm.
including me. So I think that I just ask more. I don't feel like they're as high valued men as they say they are just because they have money when they have multiple kids. So
Gotcha.
still a lot of baggage.
Okay, so let's talk about that. I think that's all situational, like you said, right? Because it's a lot of men who actually know what they're doing. I'll use myself as an example, right?
Hmm.
I'm not on child support. Um, uh, I'm a great father. My kids are with me majority of the time. Like I'm the more the custodial parent, right? Um, no money issues. As you can see, we go on vacation all the time. Family
Hmm.
vacations, romantic, adult vacations, stuff like that. I don't have any baby mama drama. Really, it's really not much kind of conversation. It's not much conversation is not needed. It's like, all right, when you coming to drop the baby off, and
Yeah.
it's like, oh, they got a doctor appointment this day, stuff like that, right? Not much, not no overly doing the communication and stuff like that. When it comes to like supporting other households, it's not really. When you think about it, if you really got actual money, that ain't a big deal.
Mm.
Supporting other, even if I was supporting other house, like if you actually got money, what's a few $1,000s a month to make sure somebody lights ain't going on, you know?
Okay. So you
Um,
feel the opposite than I feel. Then you feel like the value is still there.
it depends. It depends. Now, the value can be down if that woman to a degree has control inside of his house,
Hmm.
right? If she can
Yep.
control how that man moves to a degree, you lose value to me.
That's my problem.
Um, yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
like that's a thing for some men. But if you don't have that, where she not controlling how you move or nothing like that, right? They chilling, no issues. You ain't really giving them no money because you don't have to because you're doing what you got to do as a parent. Um, I think that it can work out for a lot of women, but I think before people lose out on somebody that could be really good for them, I would just tell them to just take into consideration the context of the situation.
Hmm.
If you can learn the context of the situation, because you can really lose out on a good individual because of how most people will end up being, the situation that most people will have.
Right.
You know, I know me. I never dated a woman with kids before.
Hmm.
I've never did it before. I'm not against it because it just depends on the situation. I'm
Right.
a I'm listen. I'm a father. That's what I am. I'm a father, and I'm a husband. It's just, I'm technically not, but my spirit's in my spirit. I'm a father and a husband. So you put me around a kid, I'm gonna be a dad. It's just how it
Yeah.
works. I don't care who kid it is. I don't care if I'm out at the park and I see a kid that I'm a dad. That's how I am around everybody.
Hmm.
So I'm not scared like, oh, I'm gonna have to be a dad around her kid. Oh, like this not my kid. I mean, nigga, I'm a coach. I'm a dad. Like that's what men
Right.
do. That's what
Right.
we do. We the protectors of our we are the protectors of society.
Yeah.
You don't get around a kid and be like, oh, it's too much work. Like I don't want to have to. I wanted my Saturday nights to my like. Shut up.
Yeah.
My bad. My bad. I shouldn't even be saying that because people are allowed to have their preferences.
I mean,
People are
yeah.
allowed to do what they want.
But some preferences I do feel like are silly ones. Like for me and you, will overlook it. Like I'm not gonna say this because a man has multiple kids by multiple women that I look at him in a disgraceful way. That's not the thing. Me, I feel like the value goes down because I'm looking at everything that comes with it. Meaning I'm not just gonna accept anything. The baggage may be too much for me to have to deal with multiple kids with multiple women, whether the relationship is good or not. Because you got to think about this. Like it goes into the context, like you said, you and the parent can have a great relationship, and the kid can make you feel like you walking on eggshells. Oh my god. Daddy's little girl will have him wrapped around her finger and she's just running haywire through the damn house. And he's so into that daddy daughter zone that it's like, I'm your woman, what's going on? So I think outside the box of that. So I feel like if
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily steer away and say like you're somebody that I would devalue and not want to date, I would ask more questions. I
Mhm.
won't necessarily run to hopping in a committed relationship with you as fast as I would someone who doesn't have kids. So like I understand the men who have their preferences of wanting or not wanting that, but the shaming and the dismissiveness I don't like. You can say her value has decreased in your eyes by what you base it on. I can't really argue with you on that because again, the decisions you make today affect your options later on down the line. But for me, when we were having that conversation, they were like, if he's a six-figure man and he's making all this money, you're not gonna care. I care. I gotta think about when it's them kids coming over your house on Saturday, and I gotta deal with that. Like
Mhm.
I have to deal with whatever y'all go through. I have to deal with that too. You get into it with her, something doesn't go right. I gotta deal with that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The things that so, like you said, it goes back into if she's controlling what's going on in the house,
Yeah. And
and a lot of
also,
times it's like that.
some people are not very um what is it called? Tolerant when it comes to kids. Some people are just
Mhm.
not kid people.
Yeah.
So, that's more like kind of knowing yourself. Like, am I a kid person? Am I not a
Mhm.
kid person? Some people just don't have patience at all.
Yeah.
So I think people should definitely know that before they get into something like that.
Right.
Um, but yeah, for the most part, yeah, I think people should just be mature about it. I think nobody's being mature. Like,
Mm.
I see people saying the dumbest shit on the internet, right? I seen somebody, they said, oh, they call it like people with kids half used. I said, what?
They
Have
call what?
a half used person, like somebody that's half used. I'm like, what? It was a girl too. She was talking about men with kids. I'm like, that's like, what do you like? That's stupid.
That's
Like, that's
ridiculous.
ridiculous. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like, people, you're supposed to have kids.
Right.
Like, it's a natural human thing. But the reason I do think that women tend to be a lot higher risk when it comes to this
Mm-hmm.
for certain reasons. I think when it comes to a lot of women typically had a children, right?
Right. Of
And
course.
as a man, you're coming and you're being financially responsible, you
Yeah.
know, unless you a hoe, unless you like
Yeah.
a man who gonna be like, oh, they ain't my kids. I'm gonna just keep my money over here, and
Hmm.
that ain't how being a man worked to me.
Right.
Um, versus a woman, you come in, I just gotta, I had to babysit sometimes, or be contribute in other ways. But a man, you definitely like, if she got three kids, guess what? Taking care of three kids ain't like being single. Having a woman is doubles the cost of whatever you spend it in general. So you got a woman with three kids.
Yeah.
That's something to consider. So you better love that woman.
Oh, listen, I tell women all the time, like, you have to understand you are coming with more responsibility for that man to bear. I definitely agree with that. That's more mouths to feed, more people to consider. But that's why I made the comment not too long ago. I feel like people should date who they can afford. How do you feel about that? And I'm gonna elaborate on that before you answer. I say that because it's an adjustment. Everything you do when you're adding on something into your life, another person, another place or thing, it's an adjustment. Um, and if you know that you want to be in that space to be a certain way in your relationship or hold a certain role or title, you should make sure that you're dating someone that you can bring into your life. So for example, let's say if you're a man and you have a really good job, you're making 80,000 a year and you meet a woman who has three kids, it could be by the same man. Can you financially take on what comes with that woman?
Mm,
And if not, I think that you need to not stress yourself out, stress her out, put put y'all through those type of issues and choose wisely. Choose somebody else.
yeah, no,
I feel like it matters.
that made perfect sense. I agree with you. Think about the finances first. Think about what you can contribute and what you not willing to contribute. You know.
Right.
Um, yeah, I had something on my mind I wanted to just say about this same topic. I'm trying to
Mhm.
remember what it was. Um, I seen a dating show clip, right,
Hmm.
where a man was it was like pop the balloon. A man popped the balloon because he asked a girl how many baby dads she had. I think she said two.
Okay.
He popped his balloon, and I look at women a little bit differently than other men. I I'm a lot more empathetic about certain things, and I understand leadership. So, a woman who has had kids with two different men, I don't necessarily by default look at her as like you dumb bitch. I don't see
Right.
it that way. These other niggas look at like you dumb bitch, and I look at like, oh, you probably lack leadership. I wonder what I'm thinking what you didn't know,
Hmm.
or how I don't know what situation you were. I don't know if you was like if you needed a roommate, you needed a boyfriend at the time, and then you just I don't know. I give women tend to give women a little bit more grace, especially without knowing the situation. You don't know she was married twice. You don't know what the fuck she
Hmm.
was, right? Um, you don't know if the man's still in the baby life. Like, you don't know what's going on. So I tend to give more grace because I feel like I'm looking from up here, and I'm looking as like I'm look. I'm just a leader. That's how I look at all women. I'm like I feel like I can help. I can like give solutions. I can
Right.
I can give you even with just talking to women. Like I can just probably give them a little bit more knowledge to make better decisions and stuff like that. So I don't necessarily look down on them that way. I'm looking as a leader that I can hopefully give you some sort of guidance or something like that. It's
That's
the
how
other
it's
man
supposed
who,
to
yeah.
be. That's how it's supposed to be. But you know what? I feel like society has made those type of men like you who can stand up in those positions or to see outside the rim of that. They call y'all simps. I don't understand that.
Well, a lot of guys are retarded, right? So it's two different things. So it's two different things, right? So you got simps and panderers; those are real men, right?
Hmm.
Um, but I think I'm not. I'm in reality, I'm not nowhere near in that category. However, I am a leader, right?
Right.
Like the things that bother other men bother me too. When it comes to like, okay, I don't want a woman that's a whore. I don't want to be with a woman that's a whore and stuff. That stuff bothers me too. I'm a man. I got feelings. I got ego, right? I don't want to be with a woman who everybody has had. I don't want to be with a woman who's my friends have had and things like that. Um, but when it comes to certain things, I'm much more. I give a lot more grace, and not only that, I'm I'm more. I listen. So I want to hear your perspective. I want to hear your story, right?
Mm.
Other men, they don't even want to do that. They're not good listeners. They not you know they're not good at any of that. So they see me as like being somebody who is a good listener. Who's like, you know what? Oh, I heard what she said. This is all she's saying. They like, nah. I'm like, yo, I hear her perspective and I understand it.
Right.
Like, they're like, nah, fuck you. You being a simp panderer. Like, fuck out of here. You know, niggas are stupid, and people don't realize how stupid they don't realize how stupid they are. That really bothers me.
Yeah.
That's one of my biggest pet peeves is people who estimate how smart they are. So if you
Nah.
ever see me in my comment section kind of going off on somebody, it's because they thought they were smart and that bothered me.
I just try to I try to ignore them. I've always said this. I'm like, listen, if y'all want to say that certain men are simps, give me a simp because they are happy. Their partner is happy. Everybody's thriving. They ain't like somebody said the other day that because I think it's Russell Wilson, that's Sierra's husband, right? Um, that he was because he puts her on this pedestal with love and respect and how he honors her in that relationship. They said that he was a simp and some other names I need not repeat. But to me, I'm like, does that put us in a space where men are scared to be vulnerable? Because in order to get to that space that they're hating on, and I'm gonna be honest with you, the space of love that they're disrespecting, you get there by being vulnerable. You get there by submitting your ego in certain ways to know like I love this woman. This is my partner. I want to be that in that space. And I don't think we get that a lot from men. So I got this last question is how can the ladies who watch me understand when they have a or handle a man that's transitioning into his vulnerable state so that they could grow something substantial in their relationship.
Ask me that one more time.
So how can women that watch me, so we have our intentional daters, they're taking accountability. How can they contribute to the space where a man is transitioning into being vulnerable with them so that they can grow their relationship?
How can they transition into into a position where the man is more vulnerable?
How can they contribute to that position? So, for example, you have a man that's met a woman that he really likes, right? Now he's into this space of I have to be vulnerable with this woman. A lot of women, they view that sometime as weak. And I think that's a problem. So I want you to give the advice to the women of how can they contribute to that space? Like how can you allow your man to feel vulnerable enough? Because that's the issue that we have in relationships most of the time with the opposite sex is the emotional maturity and the emotional connection. It's really hard. And I think it comes from men being okay with being vulnerable, but can women create that space and contribute to that space?
Hmm.
How?
I think men gotta know how vulnerable to be with a woman,
Okay.
right? You gotta know what a woman can handle and what she can't handle. Um, I don't think you should just go off telling your woman everything, right?
Okay.
Because you're gonna be dumping things on her. But at the same time, express yourself. So, you know, I express my listen. If I feel hurt, I'm gonna tell you that hurt me. I didn't like the way that felt when you said that. And it's very simple. But as far as I'm like men be confiding in women for the craziest things that I wouldn't necessarily tell them. Like, let's say if I lost all my money today, I wouldn't tell my woman. I'm gonna figure it out. She can't handle that. She shouldn't have to handle that.
Okay.
I'm gonna figure it out. You'll be fine, right?
Will you tell her if you don't figure it out? Or when
Yeah.
would be the right time to
I'll tell her when I need her.
got you. Okay. I like
Yeah.
that.
When I need
I
you, when
like
I need
that.
something from you, you gonna know. But
Okay.
no, I'm gonna figure it out. If I had a job and I lost it today, I'm not about to tell you until it's time for me to tell you. You know,
Is that healthy though?
I think so
In what ways?
because so if I tell you if you can help me, that makes perfect sense, right? If I need your assistance, absolutely, let's work together. That's what you're here for, right? To work together, we a partnership. However, if you can't help me in that moment, the only thing that I can do is stress you out. The only thing that I can do is make you overthink. The only thing that I can do is make you not want to, make everything else you do that's your responsibilities. And then you got another weight over your shoulder while you're doing your responsibilities. And I don't think that's a good thing.
Could it be seen as you're making her aware of the situation? Because in some instances, let's say that happened, right? And you had to find another job. Bills are still flowing, you're still operating as normal. It's going to take you to find that job, interview for that job, start that job, get paid for that job, cash that first check. Over that amount of time, things are changing. Do you
Mhm.
think it's healthier to just have her aware of what's going on so that she, as your partner, can make adjustments or be prepared for adjustments? If that,
Every
like, why
adjustment
do
you
you have
need
to
to,
take that alone?
every adjustment you need to make, I'll make sure you make. And once it's
Okay.
time for you to make adjustments, I'll make sure that you got everything you need to have. The
Okay.
problem is you how you're thinking is you're thinking from a self-preservation mindset. And it makes sense, right? You're like, oh my God, if I don't know, how am I going to protect myself? Look at you already overthinking, right? You're already thinking about, okay, what can I do today? How can like, nah, you already overthinking. Nah, like I'll make sure that it's gonna work out. You're gonna be fine, right?
O
And a lot of
okay.
times you'll end up telling your woman something. She end up, running in a circle with her hair on fire, right? And everything works out. And it's like, remember you wasted your time running in the circle with your head on fire. And
Yeah, we do overthink, and you're right, but I also came from a place of, like, wanting to protect my partner in that space. I feel like I like to be proactive versus reactive, and for me, probably because of just things that I've been through and things that I saw growing up, it was times that I wish I would have saw my parents have certain conversations. It was times like even as a kid, like I sat back and I was like, y'all probably should be talking about, you probably need to let her know that this just happened and things need to change. And I saw my father do a lot of taking it on by himself, a lot of times,
Hmm.
figuring it out. A lot of times it worked, but the times that it didn't, it was like a trickling effect of playing catch up and then dealing with the stressors of now you got to bring this to your partner, but you're not only bringing them changes and adjustments, you're bringing them the stressors that we already could have probably worked out together. I don't know, I'm just thinking about
Hmm.
the aspect of my partner carrying that, and how the and it, maybe that's the therapist in me, to know that the buildup eventually explodes,
Hmm.
and I try to avoid that. So I always want my partner to feel comfortable to tell me, but I also know that that's a position that y'all hold in wanting to not stress us out. And I love that. I love the fact that every woman is looking for that peace and sunken shoulder feel. So I guess it was more so of like a, I don't want to make it bigger than what it is. So make me aware. I need to know. I need, and again, that's just from trauma responses of other things. Like
Hmm.
I remember once, and this is when I was young. Oh my God, I was in college. And I remember I was with my child's father at the time. And he had the mindset like you. He was like, I'll tell her if I need to. But after I came home once to a big red eviction letter, I told him, I said, next time you tell me so that we can figure it out. I never want to come home wobbling pregnant and this is what I see. So I guess that's a fear for me of saying, like, wouldn't it be better to just, this is your lifelong partner, just share that with me
Yeah. That's crazy though.
so I
Like,
can know.
because an eviction, eviction is a long process. That's not something that just happens overnight, right?
Mhm.
So by the time that letter get on the door,
It's been a
that's
while.
a long time. That's different, right?
Mhm.
Like I
So
said, like
you'll tell her beforehand.
I'm gonna tell you when you need to know. I'm gonna tell
Okay.
you when I need you,
But
and I'm gonna put you in a
when is
position to help me.
when is it considered that a need to know? Like what changes about the situation that makes you say now is the time to share?
Maybe it's a time where I need you, right? So it'll be a time where okay, my plan is not working out. I need to deploy you to go and do something that's going to help us. Whether that
Okay.
be all right, well, I need to maybe I need ideas from you. Let's talk about this. Let's have let's brainstorm at this
Okay.
point because my idea didn't work. Um, but it's not going to be the day before y'all got to leave the house. you know,
Okay.
yeah.
You said no, I'm gonna let you know way ahead. Okay,
I want to
okay.
let you know when it makes sense. Like, and that's a part of trusting your man. Is if
Gotcha.
you with a man that you trust, it's like, yo, he gonna tell me when I need to know,
Okay.
and once he tells me, we gonna do what we gotta do.
Okay.
This is my thing, right? It's either you live or you die.
Mm.
Um, a lot of times with these situations, it's like, let's say your man didn't tell you that y'all was, something was happening, and okay, y'all look back on it 10 years from now, and y'all still together, y'all happily married. You're like, did we die? No, it was a part of our journey, wasn't it? And we can look back at it, we can laugh. It made us stronger. It made me smarter. It made you smarter.
Mm.
We realize how resilient we are, things like that. Now, I'm not saying that you have to go through those things, right? But there are some things, like a part of trusting your man is understanding that he won't be right every time,
Mhm.
And that one time that you right and he not right, you can't be like, I'm always see, like, and y'all will do that. The one time that you right and he not right. But you gotta, you gotta take the good with the bad. If you think that he competent enough to lead you, understand that he gonna make some mistakes and don't beat him up for it. But if he's able to pivot as soon as he realized he made a mistake, that's the sign of a leader. I
Okay.
realized I made a bad decision. Okay, let's pivot to the, let's we moving as fast as possible to get to the next better decision. Things like
Okay.
that.
I like that. So ladies, a leader is a good example of a leader is gonna be someone who knows how to pivot, problem solver, and he is okay with being needed by his partner
Yeah,
and needing his partner as well. I like that. Okay.
yeah. Your helpmates, y'all here to help. Help me out.
Yeah. And that's hard to do nowadays, but I feel like with with women taking accountability and men taking accountability the way they need to, it'll get better. But I mean, uh, you made a lot of good points, a lot of good full circle moments for me, a lot of good points that I'll definitely take into consideration and share with my ladies from a man's perspective because I love, love, love to do that. And I appreciate you telling me at least you feel like I know a little bit about men. They swear that I don't, but I'm like, I know a little bit. Y'all done told me enough. I'm the woman, I listen. If you sit across from me in that couch and you tell me, or on
Yeah.
that phone and you tell, I'm listening. I am writing this down in my book so I can know how to, because I feel like you said, men have feelings too. And I think a lot of time, ladies, I'm holding y'all accountable in the moment. We are so worried about our feelings and what makes sense to us, what matters to us, and how fast we want something to be that we do overshadow and overlook what they actually go through. And all I want for women to do is to understand the type of man that you're choosing and know the example of a good man versus one that's not so good. And I think once we get that understanding, like the flow of things will be better for sure. We
Mm,
gotta know how to do that.
yeah. I didn't finish on. I wanted to, because we were talking about the simp thing. I wanted to tell you
Mhm.
exactly what a simp is. A simp is really a man who don't have boundaries, right? That's a
Okay.
simp.
That's what it is.
Um, that's a
Okay.
simp. Simp is a man who don't have boundaries. You can pretty much do whatever you want with him.
Okay.
You
Okay.
versus somebody who values relationships and all that type of stuff, a leader, and though that type of man, that's not a simp.
Okay.
The simp is the man, like, even like on my post today, I put up a post and I said, you should want to trick on your woman.
Right.
You should want to trick on your woman. You should want to, these type of things. And some men will call that a simp. They go, oh, you tripping, right? Like, yeah, that's because you don't know what you're talking about. You just throw words around,
Okay.
right? But yeah, you really don't want a simp in real life. You
Okay.
don't want a
Now
man.
now that I understand where it comes from, I thought it was something different because like you said, they are always giving the comments to backlash about nice things that you may do for your woman. But I get that.
Hmm.
Okay. The
Yeah.
ladies had it confused. We didn't know what was going on. We was like, okay, a good man is a simp. I'm confused. Like, what do we do, ladies? What do we accept? Okay,
No.
so it's a man with no boundaries. Okay.
Yeah, Russell Wilson. I don't think he's a simp, but I see where other men try to say he's a simp at.
Hmm.
Right? They try to say he is simp probably from the start of that situation. Oh, Sierra. I want her, even though he already knew about her having a baby or something. They trying to say, oh, because the way he confessed his love for Sierra before he met her was a little bit interesting.
Hmm.
Pretty much just saying like, yo, that's gonna be my wife and all that type of stuff.
Hmm.
I get it, but I don't think Russell Wilson is a simp. I don't know them personally, but I feel like he is the leader of his relationship. I feel like he's the leader of his home. I feel like he's a Christian man. I like to think that um, you know, he steps up when it comes to he's being a father to, the fatherless. That shit is in the Bible. So I don't, outside of that, I don't it just looks like he's a Christian man and he's operating the way that Christians do. You say that you saw your wife. Okay, nigga, you got a revelation. Cool, you're a Christian. I ain't mad at that. So, you know, yeah, I don't view him that way at all.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah. But if you I don't know what time you gotta get out of here. Do you gotta get out of here right now?
Yeah, I was just about to say bye to the chat. Because I do got a couple of things. So I didn't know if you had another question for me before I
No, I'm
head.
gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go. I'm having a show tomorrow at 2 o'clock.
Okay.
It's my Life for Lover Girl show. It's cool. I'm gonna have a panel like with women on there, and they pretty much they're gonna talk about relationships. They're gonna tell me about what they're running into when they come to men. We're gonna watch some videos, react to them, all that type of stuff. So feel free to pull up if you want to.
Yeah, definitely send me the link. I would definitely enjoy coming. I don't think I have anything to do around that time. I really, really appreciate being a part of the conversation. Thank you so much for having me. And to anybody that's watching that would like to support me, this full episode will be available on my YouTube channel, The Official Cold Truth. And then also, I'll be posting a reel or two on the Real Dope Daddies IG page. So feel free to grab those handles. Follow me on Instagram, Snow So Sophisticated for all my ladies who are ready to take accountability now. Ready to take accountability and choose better for anybody who likes to debate those hard conversations about dating. Make sure you follow me on the Cold Truth Pod on Instagram, on TikTok as well, and Facebook, The Cold Truth with Snow. Ladies, please make sure you grab the Clarity Journal. I've been telling y'all about this for the longest. Grab it. Don't forget to click the link in the bio and book a conversation with Coach Snow. Spill the tea with me and get clarity, the conversation that you've been avoiding. I gotta hold my ladies accountable. So make sure that y'all support me. And I will definitely be at the panel if I don't have anything on my schedule tomorrow. I would love to. I need to meet some more ladies and see what they're talking about.
Absolutely.
I would love to.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, I'm gonna let you go. I hope you have a good day. I appreciate you coming through.
Of course.
Yeah, you're always welcome.
All right. I was just definitely about to say invite me back.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you for having me.
All right. You have a good
Bye.
day.
You too.
Yo, all right, y'all want me to open up the panel? Who got smoke with me, man? Let me drop the link in case somebody got smoke with me. Who got smoke? Let's drop the link. Who just want to chop it up? You want to chop it up with Derek Jackson? You know, the next Derek Jackson. He ain't gonna be on my level. I mean, I ain't I gotta surpass Derek Jackson out here with this something. I gotta criticize more men. I gotta criticize you niggas more, and let women off with everything. So yeah, man, pull up. Play some. Hold on. Check out my Instagram. Yo, Ant, pull up. You got smoke, man. I'll drop the link for you. Pull up. Click this link. Matter of fact, I should talk about that thing you DM me the other day. Yeah. Let me do that, man. Let me play that shit. Hold on. Let me play that. What am I DM? Truth, what up?
What up, little bro? How you feeling?
I'm chilling, man. I can't complain.
Already. I hope you ain't going into the Derek Jackson format. I just got finished boasting about you.
Hey, man. Hey, man, I can't. I don't know what the future hold, man. You know, them dollars change. They change people. Don't they say money change you? Yeah. They say money change you.
It's supposed to reveal more of who you are. Whatever's latent, it's supposed to bring that to the surface.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do this for fun though. This ain't mine.
Yeah, no, your shows have been dope. And honestly, I actually think, and I'm not just saying this because I rock with you. I honestly think you're actually going to produce some authentic change of, centering your focus points on talking to women, because I think you have the patience and also the background of dealing with women to do it. A lot of the people that so-called dating coaches and gurus and, call themselves dealing and want to center their audience or the people that's participating around women, they really don't have, high, I would say a decent resume of dealing with women. On top of that, you also have a successful, flourishing relationship with a woman.
Yeah.
So I think that adds to that would definitely give you more credibility and add to your value. And I think they will be more open because they can see what you do.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. As long as I stick to it, but we're gonna see what the future hold, man. I enjoy talking. I enjoy giving my perspective. Of course, I'm much like bigger on Instagram. My Instagram is like going up, starting to like really flourish. But I'm gonna keep trying to like funnel my people over here from Instagram and build this platform too. Um, but yeah, I mean, ultimately, this is like what I like to do. This is my hobby. You know, I'm a fashion guy, but this is definitely my hobby. So I got a post right now. I posted some yesterday. I mean, the niggas ain't really commenting too much on my post I posted yesterday, but a couple of them commented hating, but it ain't doing too
Well, what your post say?
I was pretty much saying like you should want to trick on your woman. You know, you should want to trick on your woman in a relationship. Like I like when my woman asks me for money. Saying I like that. I don't know how you feel.
No, yeah, man. I mean, that's who you with. They willing to be desperate and do anything else for a woman that they barely even know. You feel me? Why not? Do it for the woman that's been there and put in that time and that pain with you.
Yeah, hold on real
So
quick.
absolutely.
Uh, hold on real
Uh,
quick. BLJ, if you could, cause you came up for me. This is my first time. I'm not familiar with you. Just real quick, you only got to stay cammed up. I just gotta see, make sure you're not one of the crazy people. Hold on, once I can't see you. Hold on. Okay. I don't know. Do it again for me. Oh, I see you. I see you. I see you. All right, cool. I mean, you might as well stay cammed up. You on the joint. You got a whole setup.
Salute to everybody, man. How are you, my brother? I mean, I just tapping into your page, and then I see you had that guest the other day on your page. I just want to say tap in and keep on doing what you guys are doing.
Absolutely, I appreciate you. Did you Is this your first time checking out my content?
Yeah, I was send no, the other day when you had the woman on your interview about relationship and stuff, I guess.
What?
And I
Maybe
start subscribing to your page.
say it
Or
again.
2 days? Is it yesterday? Is it yesterday or 2 days ago?
I don't know if it was me. I don't think I did an interview since I think it was last week. I think it was
Is it that?
Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. 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 So that day I subscribed to her page. Yeah.
Okay. How you feel about this show today?
That's good. It's good. I just got in. Just got in.
Okay. You got your own situation. You got your own show or something like that. You be on.
No, 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 no. I just, I mean, tap in and say hi. That's why this YouTube stuff now is very interactive. You know what I mean? We could interact anytime. So that's the
Yeah.
great thing part about it. You know what I mean?
Okay. For sure. Well, I appreciate you pulling up, man. Absolutely.
Salute, salute, salute to you guys.
I'm about to.
I
I
mean,
think I want.
you mentioned that you're about fashion and all of that type of stuff. You're thinking to create your own clothing line, or what's the deal, my brother? You're planning to do this type of stuff?
Oh, I already got that stuff in motion. I got a lot of projects. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Salute, salute. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. But I like to do. I enjoy YouTube, but also I might do YouTube from a fashion perspective too one day. I might
That's
teach people
right.
about clothes and stuff like that. So who knows what the
I
future
mean, I
holds?
see a lot of content creator now, right? Like Kai Cenat and all of this type of stuff, and they dress in a certain way. Next thing you know, they got $1 million contract with like Adidas or Nike and all of this type of stuff. So you never know, if they like the way you do it. I mean, it's all about that's all up to you, my brother. And as I said, keep up what you guys are doing, and what I mean. I just want to say what's up to everybody, man.
Oh, I appreciate you, man. I definitely appreciate you. I'm having another show tomorrow at 2 o'clock. If you want to, check it out. Be a cool panel. But I think I want to play this video. My homie sent me a video the other day, and he uh he asked me to comment on it, but I think I'm gonna play it. Hold on, let me find it. Let me find it. See. See. Damn, I can't even find the video this nigga sent. Oh no, he sent it to my text probably. The fuck? Nah, I can't even find it. Oh, I found it. I'm tripping. Alright. Truth. It's interesting. Like when my Instagram, I think people be kind of like shocked when I switch back and forth from like the way I talk. Like if I one moment I'll talk proper, and another moment I'll use more colloquial language, right? And it'll kind of like surprise people. But I do it on purpose. I don't know. Do you switch it up at all? I can't hear you by the way. If you're talking. 4, 3, 6, 9, 6, 9. Truth, can't hear you. Can you hear? If Truth not here, don't matter. I'm gonna play this video for y'all, and I'm gonna tell you my comments on the video. Let's play this John. Pause. Volume up. Share the screen.
All over the fuck.
Now we're gonna try this again. Hold on.
What did you say? It's my one day off. What did you say? It's my one day off and you want to go all over the fucking city. Go to TJ Maxx, go get coffee, go to the mall, go look at this, go look at that. I don't see a problem. It's fun. Nothing about that is fun. But you love me.
Ladies, I love a good joke, and I love when you're playful with your partners. But there are times where men are being serious about things and you guys want to laugh and dismiss their feelings. And you get mad when men do that to you. So don't be a hypocrite. I'm pretty sure the relationship is fine. So it's not like I'm bashing them or nothing like that. But you posted this publicly. So of course people are going to have a think piece about it. Don't be shocked. Keep your business off the internet if you don't want to hear anybody chiming in on it. But this is my thing. If it's somebody's one day off, I highly doubt they want to go and run errands with you. And the thing that I think is super sad is the fact that I guarantee you, I already know that he probably paid for everything and he's obviously driving you. So now he's a chauffeur and he's your fucking, what do you call it, your servant. I don't think women get this. Like, men are already exhausted doing a lot of things for us. I feel like every now and then you should repay your partner. And I really think that if a partner has one day out of the week to relax, let him chill at home. Let him do whatever he wants. I get you want to spend time with him and do stuff with him, but I think every now and then you should definitely consider your partner's feelings and ask them what they want to do. Ask them, babe, how do you want to enjoy your day? And if they want to be left alone, then just do that. Just take them food. They're playing video games. Take them snacks, stuff like that. I don't see nothing wrong with that. Offer a massage. I'm sorry, y'all. I understand what it feels like to work a regular job. And I always worked hard labor jobs. Oh, Lord have mercy. On my days off, I didn't want to hang out with friends or go out or even hang out with a partner. And it sounds sad, but it's true. Some of us just want to unwind. And as you get older, you really start enjoying your peace and like quietness when you're away from work. It's a lot, you guys. So I really feel like that's like the one time you get to do whatever you want. And I see nothing wrong with, if it's your day off and you're a hard worker, what's wrong with spending your one day off playing video games or being by yourself? I don't see what's wrong with that. Or just maybe going to the gym and sleeping. And a lot of women go, oh, you're lazy, you waste your one day off. Is it your one day off or mine? Sometimes, ladies, you guys have this me mentality when it's us.
I'm gonna tell you what I think. This idea that a man gets one day off, and if he wants to spend it playing video games, there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, if you're single, if you don't have kids, these type of things, right? I think in principle, if you get one day off, I can imagine that your woman has been trying to get your time for a long time, or your kids have been trying to get your time for a long time. Now I'm not saying the occasional, day off, you shoot, do what you want to do. I get it, right? But we men, we gotta we gotta show up for our families, I don't know what y'all think about that, but I thought the video from the perspective she came from was unnecessary. But I'm gonna take the premise that she laid out of a man getting one day off and his woman want to spend time with him. Nigga, you gotta listen, man. We know how this shit go. You gotta spend time with your woman, especially if you ain't been spending time with her. You've been working too much. Yeah, the bills need to be paid, all that type of shit. But like, yeah, you gotta spend time with your woman. You gotta prioritize that, and sometimes you gotta use your day off. Truth, you here still? This nigga ain't here. Let's get Truth up. Oh, man. I'm actually thinking about going and doing a TikTok. I ain't gonna lie. Said I'm not selfish enough. Yeah, man. I don't know. But yeah, like, why? I get it. I totally understand. But as men, like, do you mean to tell me you get one day off and your woman has been trying to get your time, or your kid has been trying to get your time, and you're like, I just want to play the video? That's the fuck out of here. I get it though. You need time for yourself to a degree. But like, you want to play the video game all day that day? I'm not with that shit. Hell no. Get up and go spend some time with your woman. Go do what you got to do. What up? We got what up, Kelvin? What's the deal, man? What's the deal? Said it doesn't come up on Instagram. What a real dang, I know I don't got you blocked. Let me see what I put. Real dope daddy. Yeah, that's my Instagram, man. That's my Instagram 1000%. You see the name, Real Dope Daddy, Prince of the Manosphere? That's me. I don't know why it ain't coming up. But y'all got questions that y'all want me to ask for my show tomorrow? I'm gonna have probably like 8 women. So everybody, it's not everybody hates my. Nah, it's Real Dope Daddy. But yeah, I'm having a show tomorrow. If y'all got any questions y'all want me to ask the women, let me know. Any topics y'all want me to, want me to use, let me know. Because we're going to have a nice amount of women for y'all to ask questions to, So, yeah, I need the topics. I think my my title is going to be, the show is going to be Speaking Womanese. I think that's cool. So I think this Sunday is going to be about womanese. So pretty much understanding what women are saying when it comes to certain things, and women's perspective when it comes to certain things. So yeah, that's going to be tomorrow's show. But I might do a live, like right now. I might go do a live. I think I might go test out TikTok. But it's only 6:00 and I can get home. I can get home early today. But yeah, I might go test out TikTok and see how TikTok live work. I got the live studio and all of that. They approved me. I just need to start doing lives. So I don't know. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button while y'all here too. Please hit the like button. And subscribe if you're not subscribed. But yeah, man. No, matter of fact, no, I'm gonna create some content while I'm here. That's what I'm gonna do. Create some content. And I'm gonna post something. I'm gonna do it right now. I'm gonna create some content. I'm gonna post it up. But I appreciate everybody coming through. About to play the outro music for y'all. Get up out of here.
Come and talk to me. Come and talk to me. I really wanna meet you. Come and talk to me. Can I talk to you? I really wanna know you. Come and talk to me. Come and talk to me. I you? Can I talk to you? Oh, come and talk to me.